And we're going to start the night like this. Her grandmother called her from the playground. Yes, ma'am. I want you to learn how to make rolls, said the woman proudly. But the little girl didn't want to learn how because she knew, even if she couldn't say it, that would mean when the old one died, she would be less dependent on her spirit. So she said, I don't want to learn how to make no rolls. With her lips poked out, and the old woman wiped her hands on her apron, saying, Lord, these children. And neither of them ever said what they meant. And I guess nobody ever does. Legacies by the late Nikki Giovanni. Welcome, welcome, artists and family. You know what it is. Finally, Thursday night has come back. Pull up a Zoom box, grab a microphone, and get comfortable. It's about to go down. Presented by the legendary, that's right, I said the legendary New Eurekan Poets Cafe. I am your host. My name is Elemen2al. Happy Thursday. This is the jump off, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go. You know how we do because we've been doing this and doing this and doing this well. Welcome to episode 65. Could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us rocking. So let's get it. Again, welcome to episode 65. We do this every Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, streaming live on YouTube. If you're watching and you would like to join us in the stream, the number is on your screen, 977-539-856. Jump in, join the greatest community in the world. Want to know why I say that? Trust and believe we're going to show you this evening. Oh, he's coming in the building. We do this week after week thanks to some dedicated folks who pay these bills, all right? So we'd like to thank the New York State Department of Cultural Affairs and the New York City Council on the Arts for hosting our free online events. You can add your energy to the mix with a tax-deductible donation by going to newyourekan.org/contribute. Every dollar counts and is very much appreciated. Make sure you are plugging in with the dopest tech in the Zoomverse, the one and only Ron Mark Thompson, a.k.a. RMT. If you're not down with RMT by now, damn it, you should be. All the way up in the BX. That dude's a trillist, man. Make sure you plug in with Ron. This is where you can find me, Elemen2al.com. Take out the T, put in the number 2, Elemen2al.com. So many things going on. Make sure you plug in. Tonight's theme, Crown Jewels. priceless ideas. Please keep in mind, folks, you have artistic license to do wherever this theme takes you. If your artwork is not on theme this evening, that is still totally cool. We are still looking forward to all the incredible genius that you are sharing with us this evening. Also, before you rock, make sure you change this Zoom name, because we are trying to make sure we continue to build the greatest community in the world. Next week's theme coming at you. Grand Proposal. Freedom Papers. Listen, and this right here, this could go so many different ways, especially with the political climate that's going on around the world. This one's going to be interesting, folks. Truly, Grand Proposal, the Freedom Papers. Yeah, it's going to be interesting, folks. So make sure you come in next week to get down with the folks. There's only one more week left in March. Can you dig it, folks? Only one more. And we are going to get into the next one. So let's get to the rules so we can get to the artistry. Artists, turn your cameras on. We are trying to stimulate a live open mic stage as much as possible. Plus, we love to see all the beautiful exuberance that goes into your artistic performance. All right. Also, as you're getting ready, make sure you have your artwork ready. All right. We got a full list this evening. All right, so make sure you have your artwork ready when your time is coming to get down. As I mentioned, change your Zoom name before or after you get down. Make sure you put your information in the chat so people can continue to connect with you. All right. As you're coming, please keep in mind you have 3 minutes to rock. All right. Plus a 30-second intro to let the world know what you have going on. Also, folks, if you have an upcoming feature, if you're planning on publishing a book, if you're releasing an audio book or a mixtape, whatever it is, please make sure you mention it so we can plug in, we can continue to build our community and continue to support each other in whatever ventures that we're in, all right? We have reached that time of night, folks, where the sensitive ears should be off to bed, all right? Because there are explicit lyricists in our community, all right? But the founders of our cafe were major proponents on the freedom of speech, and we will make sure it maintains in the vein of everything we do, therefore. There is no censorship other than any hate speech or any ism that people may use to manipulate, which will not, I said not, be tolerated. Fuck around and get cute and get the boot, baby, all the way from the BX, man. For real, thou hast been warned. What we do is a living, breathing trigger warning, all right? This is a true call and response space. After these artists get up here and they share a true piece of who they are, you will see this pop up on your screen. This is when you get a chance to share all of that energy, all of that exuberance with the community, with the artists. Don't worry about the noise, y'all. It's the rowdiest night of the week anyway, and we're going to make sure it stays that way, all right? All of that energy will be returned to you in the performance of all these artists this evening. Trust and believe. The guaranteed list tonight is closed, all right, because signups begin 24 hours before the show, which is Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. To sign up, you go to newyourekan.org, click on full events calendar, you click on a Thursday that you want to get down on, and you need an artist RSVP ticket, all right? It's the only way you're getting on the guaranteed list, and they won't populate until 24 hours before the show. Here's a tip. Log in to the website, all right? If you create a profile and you log into the website, when you go there, when you go to get your ticket, it will automatically auto-populate all your information, all right? Then all you got to do is click forward and you're good to go. Make sure you get that confirmation email. Guaranteed list is on the way. If you're in the tri-state area, make sure you are plugging in with the New Eurekan Bowery Slam, hosted by J Rose. Shout out J Rose. Shout out Luna Rosa. Shout out Poco Queso. Storm God's in the building. He just recently won the New Eurekan Bowery Slam, and like he said, he don't even slam, but he came through and he did his thing, man, for real. So make sure you plug in. Also, at the Lower East Side Center, make sure you are plugging in with the open mic. Shout out Soul Preem, an incredible space with an incredible host. Also, Final Friday, shout out Tony McPherson, who also runs his slam workshop coming soon. Make sure you plug in. As I've told y'all, only sharks in this water. Only sharks need apply, for real. Also, Know Thyself with Charlie Vasquez. Shout out Charlie Vasquez. Really, I keep telling y'all, we are trying to cultivate and work on the entire artist, all right? So make sure you plug in. Tonight's list. all of these incredible artists. Look, we got some newcomers. We got some people that I can yell at because we haven't seen in a while. So let's get to it. There's all my rowdy friends here on Thursday night. What's good, good people? Is that Whitney Salgado? Oh my goodness. It has been too long. What's good, Whitney? Wow. Wow. I see Poetic Desire in the building. Xanadu is here. What's good? What's good? Bonnie Soloway is here. Of course, the Vincent Price of Poetry is here. Look, and we are going to start the night off with a gentleman. Listen, with him starting off, man, this might be a trend, right? This gentleman always comes through with the work that always sticks to your bones. I'm telling you, you're going to find out why. The one and only Alan Gary is in the building this evening. Listen, let these folks know where they can find you, sir. It is always a pleasure to see you. And listen, with you starting off tonight, it is going to be incredible, sir. Whenever you're ready, please take it away. Great to see you.
Pleasure is all mine, and actually it's an honor to be here. And hey, everybody, jump in anytime to my Alan Gary Facebook page. Say hi on any of my open posts. Well, tonight's theme, it's about the crown jewels and priceless ideas of the women in our lives and the ladies who have come before us and who have nurtured, and without us, we would not be here. Well, the most worthy aspect of all of that, of them, is love, because the material is transitory. How we affect others is what lasts. So please listen to my words. You are my paradise. I do cherish you, from all the simple things to the most beautiful things that make you, you. Magic could not imbue, replace, or create anything from the heavenly mandate which populates that most perfect DNA, the essence whose presence complements my sentience, because I know I could never forego carrying close such heavenly cargo. And when we come together, hearts entwined as one, we will have won a journey unmatched under the sun. I, as your anchor, never ever really having to set sail, because I have already arrived. You are my paradise. Thank you.
Wow, now that's how you do it, sir. That's how you set it off this evening. Listen, I told y'all, it just has a way of sticking to your bones, right? Unmute yourself, give it up for Alan Gary.
Thank you.
Great start, Alan. Thanks for kicking this off again so strongly.
Love the way it just sort of all hung together in a very cogent way and tied it at the bottom, at the end of it. I thought it was great. Really good.
Thank you.
Absolutely, right. And again, I don't know how he does it. I'm not trying to, dismantle his work, because I enjoy it. I truly do. Like I said, it just kind of sticks to your bones like soup on a cold day. Like it just does. And then the way you deliver your work, sir. How you started off and then you brought it all the way back, right? You are my paradise, right? I do cherish you. The most perfect DNA. Such heavenly cargo. Man, like when you're carrying precious cargo, you travel with care, right? And I appreciate the fact that you came at it that way, right? Light but heavy. Thank you, sir. Listen, y'all, Starship's underway. Let's keep it going. Coming up next, all the way from across the pond, I am always grateful when this gentleman comes through. The most eloquent writer I know, aka Dr. Love himself. The one and only Lantern Carrier is here. Let these folks know where they can find you. It is always great to see you, brother. Please take it away.
Thank you, my brother. I will write the details in the chat afterwards. My mother's name was Jewel, and she carried a crown within, reflecting the peerless sparkle in her heart. It was one dyed in the scarlet red of loving sacrifice, concern, resilience, and fortitude. She told stories of her ancestors, of their own jewel souls shining with the illustrious love of paradise. Tales taught to her by my grandma Ruby, which I repeated to my sister Pearl. So as you see, gems aren't exactly novel to us. Maya Angelou bent in humility to create a bridge of love for others. Harriet Tubman ferried the enslaved to freedom, endowed with the jewel of Christ's compassion in her heart and the undaunting courage of Nanny of the Maroons in her spirit. Crown jewels are our nation's most precious treasures, including sacred coronation regalia. They remain dazzling to the eyes of greed and power, priceless, and consisting of gemstone in thousands. Crown jewels are symbolic of the power of a nation. Not so to the people of Burkina Faso in West Africa. They are blessed with crown jewels, gold, diamonds, and much more. Yet to them, Ibrahim Traore, the president, is their priceless crown jewel. He has done more for his country's sovereignty in 2 years than many presidents have done in over half a century or quarter of a century of power. History has always been written by the conqueror, and invaders with callous hearts have been grabbing and pillaging in Africa for centuries. In a macro evolution of the bully at school, the strong pillage the weak in distant lands with both despicable and vile intentions. Maidens were abused, leading to dishonor, lack of self-esteem, and sometimes death, caused by abhorrent actions on the crown jewels of intimacy, which were infinitely more precious. The Kohinoor diamond, which found its way to Queen Victoria, was taken from India in the name of conquest of a land harboring no ill intentions and hardly able to resist. Mother Africa's significant crown jewels, such as the Ashanti gold, were looted from the Ashanti king in Ghana over 150 years ago. The priceless Star of Africa was taken from South Africa by the UK, the Benin bronze from Nigeria, and several other peerless artifacts and jewels stolen by the Imperial Crown during the heinous transatlantic enslaved period in which over 30 million Africans died. Oh, Africa, even as I write, humans are still exploiting your vast mineral and other crown jewel resources. All glory to your brave men and women, the crowning splendor of the hearts of love, sacrificing the golden spirits on your behalf. Mountain Carrier, thank you.
Yeah, man. Like, I don't know how this dude makes his words sparkle like jewels, but he does every single time. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Lantern Carrier.
Yeah, he did that.
Carrier, you are fabulous. As
Thank
always.
you.
Like a personal history lesson. It was amazing, really beautiful, beautifully said.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's kind of amazing how you cover so much ground in such a short piece like that. It was kind of comprehensive beyond what a couple of pages should be able to contain. I think that's a kind of magic.
No doubt. No doubt, Jedi Master. Our resident Gilgamesh, we will hear from him later. Absolutely right. Like, I still, like I said, I don't know how Lantern does it, but he always does. And then how he started it off, right? He said, my mother's name was Jewel. My grandma's was Ruby, and I told it to my sister Pearl. Like, come on. Like, come on. Like, the jewels just keep getting passed down, right? History has always been written by the conqueror. No truer words spoken, sir. Right? He mentioned the crown jewels of intimacy, Mother Africa, the Ashanti gold, the priceless star of Africa, stolen by the imperial crown. You're amazing with what you do, sir, and how you do it. As I said, the most eloquent writer that I know. Thank you, sir, for doing what you do and continuing to share it with us. You're amazing. All right, coming up next, all the way from Brooklyn, this incredible storyteller continues to come through with some of the work. I'm telling you, some of the work that builds bridges. The one and only Mark Kensie is in the building. Let these folks know where they can find you. Always great to see you, man. Please take it away.
You can find me here. On January 27th, 2017, post-college graduation, I resigned from my 3-year full-time sales associate position, convinced I'll be taken. My fate at the mercy of a nameless colleague who walked me 1.5 blocks to my apartment building. My psychiatrist coined it anxiety, paranoia. Mania slowly took its course in the form of many projects I've undergone. Later recordings and transcriptions of interviews that didn't make my school podcast. I met Miss Bertha Duncan during my second round field interview with a direct marketing company. Research says it's a pyramid scheme. Born July 22nd, 1940, raised in Long Island, a nurse of 40 years, an educational paraprofessional for 20, a mother of 2, and wife to a Vietnam veteran who did her trainings and clinicals at Kings County Hospital. You have a lot of mothers in the world. You just don't know them all, she said over the phone, supporting my decision to decline the job offer, suggesting nursing and teaching as a better alternative. As a youngin', Duncan, grandma, and cousins provided juice, water, huddles, blankets, cold compresses to pets and or one another. They couldn't spare a butterfly wing, but they managed to rescue a bird that had fallen. Twig, wrap, cage. Bread and water, their diet. Grasshoppers, jarred in lush pastoral green. Drops of dew, holes poked at the seal for breath to permeate. Geriatric care, death and dying, old age. They cling to life in your listening ear, in your helping hand, a touch of warmth to secure their transition. A floater, she undertook various assignments. Duncan, although intrigued about working in the burn and plastic surgery units, would often lose her appetite and chew gum. During her first day working in the burn and plastic surgery units, her patient was severely burned with much swelling. His head the size of a basketball, his face wrapped like a mummy. Upon unwrapping the threshing of his face and head, his eyeballs poked out of their sockets. 2 tiny holes for nostrils, eyebrows and lids scorched, eyes, ears swollen. His arms and legs bandaged. He could have been in his 30s. Doctors fed him electrolytes and IV fluids. When workers get too emotionally attached to their patients, someone has to remove you, she said. Because of the vile odors of the burn unit, she would stuff her nostrils with cotton balls. Cotton has an airway, she says. We did our code 66, and the doctors came running and began to massage the heart and so forth and try to get him stimulated. The next thing I know, she giggles nervously, they cut the man's chest open. He stuck his head out at the opening and had the man's heart in his hand and gave him an injection. I almost passed out again. I just couldn't come out of it. I was exposed. The doctor was calling me to get the medication. He yelled at me so hard. I was falling right onto the patient. I don't remember hitting the floor. I was leaning and then I collapsed. To regain consciousness, Duncan was taken outside of the unit and got a pitcher of ice water poured down her back. She immediately resumed to task. The burn unit had 6 to 8 beds separated by cubicles and drapes. Duncan recounts an unresponsive heart attack patient. When he opened the man's chest to get to the heart, he stuck his hand into the cavity and had the patient's heart in his hand. Oh my goodness, she laughs. It was a bit much. It was something of a horror movie, you know? Then he began to massage it and massage it and massage it, inject and massage the heart. And gradually, the heart began to pulsate. And he just dropped the heart in the cavity and began to literally run with the man. The man was hooked to an IV machine. The doctor did not have time to go to a more sterile unit, so he used the burn unit, which was not completely sterile. So they had to be gauged, galled, and masked. Transporting the patient was a matter of going across the hall to a known corridor and taking the elevator and stairs. The patient was deceased a few days post-surgery. The burn unit was for expansive burns, and patients were taken immediately to the plastic surgery unit for restoration. The higher the degree of burn, the more severe it is. Burn patients lose a lot of fluid, have difficulty breathing, and experience a significant drop in body temperature. They are covered with blankets, and baby cradles were heated as well. Such patients are fed clear fluids, broth, and apple juice, along with IV fluids. During the restoration process, the healthy skin from the back, thighs, and belly are spread. It's a long process, she says. The burn patient's open pores are at risk of infection because the skin is the guard of the body. 30 to 35 years ago, Duncan says a dark-skinned young woman suffered an acid burn from a soda and lime mixture, bubbled into a syrupy consistency, thrown in her direction. Her skin fell off her face. She was hospitalized for months. Her nose blackened, hardened, cooked, Duncan says. Her eyes red coals. 2 little holes for her nose and 1 little hole for her mouth. It was terrible at that time. They used to put such people in a cold shower and stay 24 hours so they could flush off the acid as much as they could. After doctors gave the woman medication, they had her family bring pictures so they can see how she looked and to restore her face back to as normal as they could. The burn patients were never satisfied and had unrealistic expectations regarding the severity of their burns and the limitation to the restoration process. When training at the pediatrics unit one day, the piercing cry of a young mother who had lost her 7-year-old child couldn't escape her mind. Thank you.
So I don't necessarily appreciate that you put so much texture in your work that I can smell what you're describing. That's not okay. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Markencia.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
It's such a graphically powerful piece.
Yes. Yes. Your attention to
I was like,
detail.
she really doing surgery.
Right. Your attention to detail, Markencia, is stellar. really. And the way that you tell your stories, it's uncanny. It's obviously, in my opinion, it's your superpower because of the amount of attention to detail of what you do. Um, just how you bring in what you bring in, right? You start with the anxiety, paranoia, and then you go all the way to they couldn't spare a butterfly wing, the vile smell of burn units, the code 66 had the patient's heart in his hand. Like I could see that, right? Something like a horror movie, you know? The skin fell off her face, and the burned patients were never satisfied. How you tell stories is amazing, right? The graphic details that you use just add to the texture of your work. And I need you to continue to do just that. It's pretty amazing. Thank you for what you do and sharing it with us. Whew, let's go, y'all. Let's go. Coming up next, yo, this cat right here. Had the pleasure of meeting this cat. Peace to the gods and the earth for all their knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. This cat came to do lots of things, but I guarantee you, he did not come here to tap dance. The one and only Baba Ngoma is in the building. Let these folks know where they can find you. It is always great to see you, God. Please take it away.
What's up, y'all? My info is in the chat. This is a piece I'm kind of working on. It's called Now Run and Tell That. Everybody's waiting on, I got two pieces. Everybody's waiting on Jesus, but the Christian nationalists chased him away, because no nigga could be the son of God. If you were Jesus, would you come back to the lies they planted in your name? You ask, what will Jesus do? But you never answer the question. Besides, he never called himself a Christian. Now he's been sold to the highest bidder, and misguided misleaders claim they are ordained by God. And I'm asking, what God did you talk to? Could it be Elon the muskrat? The inmates are running the asylum. It's a stick-up. The criminals have been set free, but so far, the world is in shock. Justice rolled back, cerebellum days revisited, hangman's nooses rise again, but the court supreme is on the payroll, while justice still struggles to be free. After all, everything's up for sale as workers are fired, and there's nobody to pick the crops. Neo-slavery raises its hungry head as corn and fruit rot in the fields, food and gas prices explode. Maybe when MAGAs realize they've been duped, there will be a chance for peace on earth. Yep, meanwhile, the original people want their land back. Now run and tell that. Oh. Let's see, I don't know if I read this last week or not, but let's try. Hip hop had a baby. They called it gangster rap. I'm not sure whether it was the crack or too much cash in the milk that made things whack, but I'm thinking you should have used the condom. Then that's what happens when you put too much cheddar in the pablum. I remember back in the day, hip hop had a lot to say. That's when it was about UNITY and fuck the police was the word on the streets. When hip hop had 5 elements and all the lyrics made common sense: educate, agitate, organize. The music was uplifting, food for thought. Public Enemy, Dead Prayers, KRS-One, Ice Cube, Poor Righteous Teachers, Arrested Development, and A Tribe Called Quest. Suddenly, it got difficult to fight the powers that be, because the powers that be realized the power of the word. Soon, real hip hop was no longer to be heard. Pigs shapeshifted into record execs. Drug dealers realized they could sling stolen beats instead of crack cocaine. But see, the words affect your mind. It's like press, play, repeat, serving up degeneracy with hip hop beats. misogyny, and thug life, but you can't turn a whore into a housewife. Instead of singing about revolution, our kids are singing about turning tricks and prostitution, genocide of the mind without a solution. It's time for hip hop to reincarnate and make its evolution. It's time to take back and redirect real hip hop culture, take out of the hands of these culture vultures. Yeah.
Come on, man. Come on, man. From the five elements to the culture vultures, this cat flying high, man. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Baba Ngoma.
Culture vultures.
Beautiful.
That's line. It's great.
Yes, definitely culture vultures. Awesome.
If you were Jesus, would you come back?
Come
Back.
on.
Once.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, I was definitely going there. Like, yo, listen, I don't know how you do what you do, sir. He said, everybody waiting on Jesus, but if you were Jesus, would you come back? What God did you talk to? Right? Neo-slavery raises its ugly head. The original people want their land back, but ain't nobody listening. Believe that. Hip hop had a baby. They called it gangster rap. He mentioned some of the most influential hip hop groups in the world, folks. Please go back and listen to it and do your research. He mentioned the Blastmaster, PRT, Tribe. He said pigs shape-shifted into record execs. That's one of the dopest hip hop lines I've heard in a while. Thank you, Baba, for what you do. Continue to do that, and listen, keep coming with that new shit, man. But the old shit's fire too. Not but that new shit was hot. Appreciate you, God, for real. All right, coming up next, yo, telling you, I love this poet because she just does it right. She comes to the stage, she rocks it. Right? She moved from New York to Philly and continues to rock it. It's about to blast off, folks. The one and only Dr. Z Page in the building. Let these folks know where they can find you. It is always great to see you. Please take it away.
Thank you. So good to be here. Yeah, calling in from Philly, my new apartment. So nice to see so many my people I consider mentors and people who really got me into this poetry. I have some things upcoming. One is I'm going to be the guest coach on the Slam Jam at the One Slam Jam on Instagram on March 22nd, or as Elemen2al likes to say, Mistress of Insight. Shout out to Ike Waltz, who I'm so appreciative for including me in his upcoming anthology 13. I know several other people here are going to be in that as well. And then also, I'm really proud to say that I have my first live features coming up. I was asked to do one here in Philly and one in New York. I'll provide more details as those get hammered out. So I'm really excited. This is somewhat on theme. It's new. I wrote it last week. It talks about the generational component of love in the queer community, looking at the generation above me where so many were lost to the HIV epidemic, and then looking at the generation below me where there's so many people who get to be themselves in large numbers in high school, and how this could just affect the concept of love, and how difficult it is to really understand what love is if I've been prohibited from having it most of my life. A temporary working title is Spill the Tea with the Pinky. The gays always say love wins. Well, if love wins, then why am I losing? I mean, I love falling in love. I'm just not good at being in love. I often fall into love so far it takes years to climb out of it after self-destructing with impulse appetite. I could stand atop a mountain with a map, see everything, and still be lost in the alphabet. But how can I be expected to decipher love letters when Y can't even decide if there's 6 vowels or 5? I never loved letters so much that I can't make sense of, but it's how we write poetry. So I build these phrases with words that only I can read until I let audiences hear what my poems mean. Love poems describing why we can't stop doing the things that gave us pleasure as young, dumb kids. The balance beams teetering between flirting and friendship, hesitant, too scared to test it. I want that type of love. Skipping down school holes, pulling my pigtails, riding the rail so fast I impale my chest. A teen crush crushing me with the perils of no brake lines, the irresponsibility of forgetting the world we live in. Neither refined or divine, trying to find the next shiny object to toss into the wishing well of limerence. But now we have mortgages, raising other kids as investments, no longer playing with the ones inside us, but throwing resources to those of our image. We're older, and a second hand somehow moves slower and faster. A simultaneous time warp, a clock ticking syllables. With each one, my poems grow more mature, realizing my prior love was reactive and capricious, treading water within pools, risking abandonment. I was holding my own hand, like I was fisting poison vines, at night crying crocodiles over the rails, blocking the drop into the Hudson River to reach for the bridge I thought my love lived across from. But she was always in the mirror, a dwindling reflection on water, a wake of tears, motor running, stalled dreams shocked back into beating. A cobweb nostalgia shop still sells my good memories. They never left the shelves. It may be hard to love myself when our language defines me as ugly. But I never stopped buying life, even when I lost myself. Because had I died, I could never share with you my poetry. And when I'm done speaking and you clap for me, I show everyone my love won. Poem.
Yo, yo, Philly's doing you nice, Dr. Z Page, because you put in that work for real. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Dr. Z Page.
That last line said it all.
Beautiful, Dr. Z. I'm from Philly, by the way.
Oh, sweet. I'll direct message you.
Okay.
Yo.
I can't trust vowels. I can't trust vowels. Oh.
He said, I'm not sure if it's 5 or 6. I can't trust him. You know what I mean? Like, wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Listen, shout out to Razor Blade. We'll hear from him later. Listen, Dr. Z Page, I love the fact that you stay committed to your community and you are so open with your love and how you feel about it, right? The love that you have, the love that you lost, and the love that you desire. There's something very real about that. That's why I love your work, because you always come with something very, very real. You said, if love wins, then why am I losing? Right? I see everything is still be lost in the alphabet. How? Right? Let audiences hear what my poem means, my poetry means, right? Flirting with friendships, right? With the perils of no break lines. A clock ticking syllables? Ticking syllables? To reach for the bridge I thought my love lived across from. I never stopped buying life. Listen, Dr. Z Page, whenever you decide that you're going to write your manuscript, we will continue to buy it. We won't stop buying it. We won't stop shouting it out. Think about that. And listen, I know this woman is a whole doctor, all right? She's saving lives and things, but hey, make time to write your manuscript because we need that. Thank you, Dr. Z Page, for what you do. Listen, I really hope Philly's doing good for you, right? But thank you for continuing to write and share it with us. Truly appreciate you. All right. Damn it. Come on. Ike. Come on, Storms. Quit messing with Ike, man. We need Ike to come through. All right. Coming up next. Listen, this artist has ties that go all the way back to the founders of our cafe. This artist is absolutely amazing. She comes through with some very real work, and it's great to see her 2 weeks in a row. The one and only Shayna is in the building. Let these folks know where they can find you. It is always great to see you, man. Please take it away.
Thank you, Elemental. I put it in the chat. That's my Instagram handle. And tonight I want to read 2 poems. One of them is not mine. The first one that I want to do is actually by Miguel Algarin. And can everyone hear me okay? Yeah. Okay. It's from back in the day, 1978. Not tonight, but tomorrow. Not tonight, but tomorrow, when the light turns the peach tree green and the earth sprouts its young leaves, looking to repeat the magical mystery tour of photosynthetic conversion of light and moisture into life. Not tonight, but tomorrow, when my body will have shed its fear of turning old and soft. Will I turn my speeding mind into the tunnels of your psyche to melt the calcium that constipates your synapses into a lubricating powder? Not tonight, but tomorrow, when the universe moves on beyond the field of action that is the earth to me and you, will I discover the interplanetary clues that signal the roots of my moment to you. Not tonight, but tomorrow will I throw my feelings into New York streets to stew in the violence and despair of our planet. Not tonight, but tomorrow will the earth turn green again. So this next poem, so if you were here last week, you heard my Jewish poem. My dad's Jewish, my mom's Catholic. So this week it's a Catholic poem. And it's dedicated to my mother who passed in 1992, long ago. And she wasn't a poet, she was a visual artist. And I call it Our Lady of Poetry. Trying to connect body with flesh and spirit with heart and mind unite. Virgin Mary pleadings, poetic readings. Long-term silence creates soul bleeding. Immaculate heart stomping serpents with flamenco shoes. As the poor and the suffering cry out to you. As the sick and the lonely touch beads and light candles or just scream, Notre Dame, Our Lady, Star of the Sea, Our Lady of Poetry, Our Lady of the Highways, Our Lady of Travelers, Our Lady of Punk Rockers, Our Lady of Guadalupe, Our Lady of those who scream out loud, Our Lady of Poetry. She illuminates our despair with the fire of the sun. You help us. You help us, the one who wears a dress of stars. You radiate our darkness. You know how we weep and struggle with rage and terror. Poetess and powerful intercessor, you see me on the highway. You hear our hopes as the words escape their hiding place, where they have been stuffed like a chicken with breadcrumbs. You hear our hopes as we gently place words back into the world outside. I litanize but do not apologize for my soul, nor the voice that speaks on its behalf. A part of my own mother's story. You know that we have to be who we are, and I can only be myself. The poet touches paper or computer Keyboard keys make noise, making life again, voice stifled. I live to write. The star's radiance brings me back to this universe. I collect my words one by one, and all is well. I am a word creator, a poetess. The radiance of the stars bring me back. I start doing what I am, be who I am, Our Lady of Poetry. Illumination from darkness, weeping in ink, rejoicing in paper.
Whoa. Whoa. Weeping in ink, rejoicing in paper. Y'all heard that, huh? Unmute yourself. Give it up for Shayna.
Thanks so much for doing that. Thanks so much for doing that Miguel poem.
Double dose.
Yeah, that Miguel poem was
Poetic,
awesome.
poetess word.
Yes.
Beautiful. Words. Remarkable.
I'm glad I got to hear that one.
Thank you.
Immaculate Heart, stomping serpents with flamenco shoes. That's like a very powerful poetic hallucination.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
That's just a beautiful dance, right? A beautiful dance with or without music. And the texture that you kind of put in there gave it the music to bring that dance to life. Truly. So with Miguel's poem, may he rest in peace. That cat, he just had a way of like inhaling the New York streets and breathing out poetry. Like it's uncanny. Like breathing in the fumes of New York and then just giving you life in each line. The interplanetary clues, right? Throw my feelings into New York streets, right? The photosynthetic conversion of life, like, and you said that was in the 70s, right? In the 70s. Like, for that to happen then and it still be as powerful today. And I want y'all to know, if you don't know, the voice you hear at the beginning, 78, fantastic. The voice you hear at the beginning of the intro, that is Miguel Agarin, right? Singing. And then the piece about your mom, may she rest in peace also. That piece, that almost sounded like a signature piece. Our Lady of Poetry. It truly did. She illuminates our despair with the light of the sun, right? A part of my own mother's story, right? A poet touches paper. I live to write. I am a word creator. Listen, that could be the title of a book. I'm just saying. Thank you for what you do, for coming back, right? Twice in a row. Truly, truly appreciate what you do. You're absolutely amazing. Thank you for sharing it with us. All right. Coming up next, from Philly to Cali, this incredible gentleman, I like to call this cat the folk singer of our generation, Simon Garfunkel and Elkins. This cat just does some amazing things. I'm telling you, his instrument is always in tune and his voice is always in tune with his instrument. The one and only Bill Elkins is in the building, y'all. Let these folks know where they can find you. And I'm telling you, arguably the dopest background in the business since he shifted. I'm telling you. Let these folks know where they can find you, Bill. It is always great to see you, sir. Please, take it away.
Thanks, Elemental. Thank you very much. You're so generous. I can be found on Instagram, Midwestern Bill 51, or Bill Elkins, either one. I'm listed twice, or I'm on Facebook as well. Anyway, I like to do a song that I've done before, but I haven't done it in a while, I believe. It's a song about a past relationship, and it's entitled Eva Pavinska. Hope you like it. Trixie eyes, golden hair. She's my Venus from Krakow. Mystic dancer, my exotic tightrope walker. She strips me naked with her luminosity. Precious angel, my existential muse. She awakens me from my indifference. Oh yeah, she does. Oh, cosmic child, my bohemian lover. She vanquishes my demons with her body and her mind. You rescued me. When twins of beauty let me see. I guess we're as close as two can be. Our love will be forevermore. La 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 la. Every blue sky. La 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 la. Every blue sky of you. Blue white road, double life of valley. Talked about these films when we first met. Yeah, we did. I remember how we first looked at each other and somehow knew we'd be together. We walked alone, Berkeley over, looking out at San Francisco Bay. We stopped to hold each other as the fog rushed in overhead, and I whispered you'll never see that I love her. And the brothers rescued me. I guess we're as close as two can be. Our love will be forevermore. La 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 la. Every blue sky. La 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 la. I love you. Emma Pavinska, you rescued me. Intrinsic beauty, you let me see. We're as close as two can be. Our love will be forevermore. La 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 la. La 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 Thank you, everybody.
Sir, you are amazing. That's why I said when he started, Simon, Garfunkel, and Elkins, because he just does some amazing things, folks. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Bill Elkins.
Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, your mic was very strong today. That was amazing. But Bill, do you have an amplifier plugged in, or because your voice was a little bit behind the music a little bit, and I'm wondering if you're able to identify what it is and correct the audio. Maybe we can have you do the song again toward the end.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, I got a PA system here, but that I use to amplify, but I didn't realize there was any problem with the sound or the. But
Yeah, your mic is pretty hot, sir. So here's what we're gonna do, right? If you can hang out with us, we would love to get an encore of that. We're gonna get you with RMT so we can try to work out that audio issue because your song is amazing, sir. The way that you write, Ella Pavinska, listen. She's amazing. That's the only reason you created an amazing song for her. And we want to make sure we get all those lyrics, sir. So we're going to connect you with RMT so we can make sure we get that encore right.
Okay.
Stay tuned. Appreciate you, sir. Truly.
Okay.
Listen, I told y'all, like he is like the folk singer of definitely of our community, but of our generation. He is so committed to it, and the way that he writes his songs is just amazing. The way that he interacts with his instrument, it's one of a kind. Thank you, sir. All the way out in Long Beach, shout out LA, man, for real. All right, staying in Cali, coming up next, this incredible artist. Listen, this artist hit me to this, and I have been rocking with this, and this has been blowing my mind. Seriously, there is some beautiful bloodshed going on in this thing, but I'm telling you, I am learning so much from this book. This artist is just incredible, and I look forward to hearing her work every time she comes through. The one and only Bonnie Soloway is in the building. Let these folks know where they can find you, Bonnie. It is always great to see you, man. Please take it away.
Thank you so much, Elemen2al. I guess with everything going on these days, I try to get my pen to write something else or my pencil, but they just won't do it. This is called The Circus Act. My days are filled with ups and downs, soaring wings and scary clowns. Those wings like bats fly through my mind. Should I leave? Well, I know it's time. Time to escape the upside down of a carnival barker and his heinous clowns. Time to escape a puppet master who the carnival barker stays attached to. A joker dances all which ways, desperate to prove he owns his own sway. Well, we all know that his Nazi craze was passed along in his DNA. Right before our very eyes, our country is being destroyed inside. Where caring and fairness, morality and laws now tortured and shredded for the fascist cause. This circus of chaos surrounds my head like a baby mobile above my bed, daring me to reach up high, Second Amendment peace aimed right eye. One by one, the toys explode, spewing hatred, spitting lies, the payload of payloads, no longer disguised as heinous clowns or puppeteers or jokers filling us with tears. They're strongmen fascist wannabes. But there's more of us, we must believe. May the force be with those who'll fight to stay free. Has it ever been done before? Democracy locksmithing an autocrat's door? One with trillions of dollars and well-laid plans to ruin lives for all who don't fit into theocracy's white snow globe balls. Exclusive members only, please. The rest of you down on your knees. Not so fast. See, on our side is a diversity of thought, of survival and skills, of resilience and reverence for justice and truth that won't be stilled by those who want to turn back time to a nation dreamed up by a cadre of the most prejudicial small minds. Can it be done? Who the hell knows? But I'd rather see myself clawing my way back uphill than mudsliding down with a circus of shills. Wouldn't you? Thank you.
So I'm just gonna need you to let your pen do what it's doing because it's pretty fucking awesome. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Bonnie. Solid.
Yeah, that was nice. That was on the money.
Nicely done.
That was good.
Right on the money.
Great.
Yeah, let the pen do the work.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Bonnie.
Thank you.
Democracy locksmithing autocracy's door. And that last line, the question, that's really the question everybody needs to be asked, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Question we all need to answer with some action.
Yeah.
Tell him. Listen. That's the work, right? I used to say when I was writing, years ago, I just need to get out of my own way. And I'm thankful that you did just that. You didn't get in the way of your pen writing the things that need to be said, right? Again, this is what I say, folks. This is the charge of the artist. This is the charge of the poet, of the creatives. We have to take on these missions. We are supposed to write about these things. We are supposed to take these lemons and make Beyonce or lemonade, whichever you choose, right? This is what we're supposed to do, folks, right? We're supposed to make it palatable for those who choose to turn a deaf ear to these things. Like you said, it's a circus act, no doubt. The carnival barker, right? Our country is being destroyed inside. The payload of payloads. I'm telling you, that's the only reason why he wants Greenland. Is the payload of payloads. May the force be with those who will fight to stay free. Gosh, if that is not the line, I'm telling you, Bonnie. Thank you for being brave enough to write it. Truly. That one's gonna linger for quite a while. Thank you for doing what you do, Bonnie, and for this. Continue to thank you for this. Truly. It continues to inspire me. Thank you. Whew. Listen. Listen, I love nights like this. I love nights like this. Two more artists, and we are gonna go to halftime. Coming up next, I believe we have a new voice in the building. Welcome, Rebecca. Tell us where in the world you are plugging in from this evening. I can't hear you yet. Please.
I'm also in Philadelphia.
Whoa, Philly is representing this evening. Let's go.
Yeah.
Listen, we have been doing this for quite some time. However, welcome to the greatest community in the world. Please let these folks know where they can find you so we can stalk you and tell you that you need to sign up every Wednesday so you can come through every Thursday. Great to see you. Welcome again to the greatest community in the world. Please take it away.
Well, you can thank Dr. Z Page for bringing me here. So they told me about it, and I stopped doing fouette turns in ballet last night to sign up. So my dance teacher is like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Hold on, I got to do this." So I didn't know there were themes, but I did pick out a poem to share tonight. And I have a title for it. I'm not sure if I like it, so we're gonna skip that for now, and I'm just gonna share it. I closed the box of depression, shipping it off to tomorrow, hoping my suffocating screams of sorrow subside. I awaken under love clouds, wrapping my arms around her, knowing my desires will be celebrated and embraced by her. I step on my grief, pressing it under my feet, rendering it into a place it cannot resurface to destroy my mood. I swim through a galaxy of smiles and laughter. She's touching me like 1,000 stars are shining on my skin, glowing, warm and bright, full of hope-filled futures. I swallow the dead dreams of our far-off future, digesting our destiny for all eternity, a never-ending stomach ache of lifeless butterflies. I drive through daydreams of our future, wedding dresses, kissing under carefree winds of bliss, standing on a beach made of soft harmonies, celebrating a union of two souls connected by chance. I saw begallons of fairy tales unwritten, the starlit happy ever after we thought we'd have. I crave lavender tinted, vanilla scented tomorrows, living a life I pictured since I was little, sharing a world with a woman who treats me like a queen. Poem.
So that's not okay that you came through with all that texture and then had the nerve to be soft with it. Come on. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Rebecca.
Wow,
That's what
Philly
I'm
is
talking about.
Yes, again, Rebecca. Yes, again.
Gallons of fairy tales.
That's what I'm talking about.
Like that.
Tenderness and caring. Those aren't values that are easy to come by in a lot of forums you can go to these days. So I celebrate anybody who promotes those values. And Z-Page, you got to bring more people like Rebecca here.
Yeah, I see Dr. Z Page on her recruiting. Like, yo, let's go.
I do have two books. I put them in the chat, and I'm working on my third. I put my Instagram there, but I don't have a lot of my poetry on my Instagram. It's really pictures of like my cat and my nails. But I mean, if you want to follow that, you can.
Love
Listen,
it.
we are here for it. There are a few traditions in our community. One is a song. We're going to pop the cherry, baby. Pop, pop the cherry, baby. However, please understand that you are now one of us. And then you were recruited by one of us. So I mean, that just makes you one of us. Like, and then you have the nerve to come through with such beautiful texture. And listen, shout out the dance teacher. You traded one creative medium for another, but you're still dancing. Like, I need you to know that, right? You went from the stage to the page, dancing on the page. Shout out Dr. Z Page. I wasn't trying to rhyme that there. It just happened. Shipping it off to tomorrow, like waking under love clouds. Clearly, your community said, "Step on my grief, 1,000 stars glowing on my skin." Digesting our destiny for all of eternity. I drive through daydreams of our future. Listen, if they ever make that a restaurant, the line will be wrapped around the block all the time. I'm just saying. Thank you. Thank you for taking the time to rock with us. Welcome to the greatest community in the world. We look forward to you coming back. Please don't be a stranger. Excellent work. Thank you. All right, folks. Whew, this is how we build community, folks. This is what we're supposed to do. Come on, y'all. One more artist. Oh, really? Appreciate that, Dr. Z Page. Wow, that's just dope. Clearly, artistry runs in the family. Got it. Coming up next, and then we'll go to halftime. The priestess is in the building, and she always comes to lend her voice to bring us a blessing. She is one of my spiritual leaders. She always enlightens me and blesses me with the kind of focus that always puts me in the right mindset, in the right frame. Shout out the educators in the building. The one and only Oshun Yo Yen is in the building. Let these folks know where they can find you. It is always great to see you, priestess. Please take it away.
Okay, where you can find me. You can find me in prayer, invoking every ancestor, including the so-called fathers of this country that wrote this Constitution, to put a stop to the bastardization of it that's going on now. It's crazy. It's insane. I kind of follow the theme tonight. Um, I'm just gonna do it because it's National Women's Month, so I went like women on this one, and they're the important women in my life. And the poem is called "What Would Grandma Do?" What would Grandma do? What would Mama do? What would Big Sister do? The invocation of my bloodline is a sacred conversation. Sometimes we dig deeper in the roots of someone else's tree and barely scrape the bark of our own. My roots split rock, seek water, and grow a taller, wider tree than I ever imagined. It's my grandmother, mama, auntie, elder sister who chiseled my character, set my standard, and nurtured my nature to stretch beyond Ionic fear heights. My grandmother said, talent is nothing unless you work it. It's a gift to shape your destiny, a point of your soul's launch pad, just the beginning. Work is the middle stage. Perfection is an ongoing event. Mama said, faith is the fuel of your life. Execution is power. Marry the two together and you make magic. Magic is God's gift. Left stagnant, it sleeps. Don't let your magic sleep. You must move in ever expanding orbits. Auntie said, and I wasn't very good at it, be a lady, be sweet, just like Oshun. She said, honey takes you further than salt and vinegar. I still haven't learned it. Watch your temper, build bridges, tear down walls with the sweetness of your tongue. My sister said, be true to you so you can sleep at night. If you sell a soul as beautiful as yours, you'll have to fight to get it back. She said, do you, be you. You owe it to yourself. Sometimes we call ancestors of great name, of time immemorial, of popular history, and barely whisper our own. But it was grandmother's wisdom, mama's love, auntie's kindness, sister's honesty that deepened our roots, shined our leaves, and blossomed the flowers we are today. What would grandma do? What would mama do? What would big sister do? The invocation of my bloodline is a sacred conversation.
I told y'all she was coming with a blessing because she always do. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Oshun. Yo, yeah.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
The invitation of my bloodline is a sacred conversation. That's just so eternal and priceless.
Right. Like my question is, which one of the ancestors made sure that you put that in your poem? Right? Because that is such a timeless line. Right? It's just, yeah, thank you. Thank you, Jedi Master, for even putting that in there. Make sure y'all check that out. What would grandma do? I love that. It is a sacred conversation, right? My roots split rock, right? Talent is nothing unless you work it. Faith is the jewel of our life. Don't let your magic sleep, right? Do you, be you. You owe it to yourself. Just gonna let that sit there. Do you, be you. You owe it to yourself. Thank you for doing what you do. Thank you for being an incredible educator and making sure that you share the ancestors with the future. We truly appreciate you. All right, check it out. Let me shout out a couple people because I'm about to pass it. I want to shout out Whitney Salgado again because she's in the building. Look, just came on camera. Poetic Desire in the building. Been a minute. Heather Petropolis in the building. Steve Romanow is here. Angel Renee is here. Listen, Wall Poets in the building, right? Our resident Eminem is here. We gonna hear from that cat. It's been a minute. Listen, before we move on, I'm gonna pass it to the dopest tech in the Zoomverse, the one and only Ron Mark Thompson, aka RMT. You're not down with RMT by now, damn it. You should be. Oh, up in the BX. What's good, Ron? How you feeling this evening?
Yeah, I'm feeling okay. Yes, zooming in from the Bronx, and what a great community here. Like Shayna, like I'm from Philadelphia, and Elemental, you remember from the last 5 years during the pandemic how we connect online and like, hey, I'm in the same city that you're in, and we're all connecting or getting together, So I love it. Thank you, Dr. C. Page, for referring new poets to us, And I actually will be in Philadelphia later this fall. My niece is getting married there. So maybe Dr. Z Page and Shayna and Rebecca, maybe we can meet, in a cafe there, So that would be great. Philadelphia is not that far from New York City, but I know not many of us are from the New York metro area. So this is a great segue. Yes, the New Regan Poets Cafe is closed for reconstruction right now. My name is Ron. For those of you who do not know me, I am supporting here on the tech end in the background, and I also work with the program and operations team. And as Elemental mentioned in the beginning of our open mic, many of our in-person events now take place in partnering organizations and venues throughout New York City, include the New Regan Bowery Poetry Slam, our Final Friday Slam, our open mics at the Lois Cider Center. I saw Paul Skiff there yesterday, so that was great. It's always good to see you in person. But since not all of us are here from New York City, this week I want to highlight some of our online programming, which we did start, obviously, during the pandemic, which coincidentally this month, it's 5 years ago that we all started lockdowns. So weird anniversary. But anyway, you obviously know that our current weekly online open mics are taking place on Thursdays, 8 p.m. Eastern time, hosted by Elemen2al. Get your tickets, artist RSVP tickets 24 hours prior on Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern time on our calendar side, or if you don't have a chance to get them in the Wednesday evening, check Thursday morning, Thursday afternoon. We keep the artist RSVP ticket open until we fill all 20 spots. So that is here every Thursday, obviously. Also, as Elemental mentioned in the beginning, we have a new workshop which we started a few months ago, hosted by Charlie Vasquez, Know Thyself, Meditation and Stream of Consciousness Poetry. This takes place in Zoom on the first and third Saturday of every month, 12 noon Eastern time. It's $10. The next class is this Saturday, March 15th. I've been to one of his workshops, and it is, I loved it. You meditate, you write poetry, you share poetry, so you get everything. So I do recommend that. That takes place in Zoom. Doesn't matter where you are on planet Earth, you can attend that one. Or if you want to learn how to slam, Dr. C. Page actually attended a few of those workshops. Every month on the second Tuesday, Tony McPherson, our Final Friday Slam host, teaches poetry, slam poetry, writing and performing. Alan Gary, I know, has been there as well, improving his slam poetry. And next one is April 8th. That one is free thanks to a grant by Poets and Writers. So check that out if that's where your passion is with slam poetry. We have Beatniks on the Road episodes from all of last year. Tony McPherson hosted and curated those episodes. You can watch them for free on our YouTube channel and our Facebook page, which is a great segue. If you have not yet checked out our YouTube page, here it is, at New Regan Poets Cafe, all one word. In there, if you go to the video section, you will see recordings of special and one-time events that we do throughout the city, artist highlights, And online open mic, you see a few at the bottom there that where the live stream didn't work. We always make sure we get the recording up on our YouTube page a few days later, so you don't miss out on reviewing your own performances if you like to. And you see also the green arrow is at the subscribed button there. If you don't want to miss anything that we upload to our YouTube channel, just hit the subscribe button and click on all, so that way you get always notified. And in the live section, this is where you find all the live streams and recordings from our online open mics. As you can see, today's is already there, March 13th. You can also see the live streams of our Lois Cider open mics. And Beatniks, before we closed the cafe a year ago, we used to host them live from within the cafe. So before Beatniks on the Road, the regular previous Beatniks episodes, you can see them in the live section. And under playlists, you can, see everything organized under online open mics, in-person open mics, Beatniks, artist highlights. So there, everything is sorted. And that's a good segue to the last slide here. Here are all of our social media links, our website, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, X, Twitter handles, our executive director, La Brewer, she is on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok as well, and she always posts content and announcements for the New Regan Poets Cafe as well. And so does Elemen2al. I included his handle here. I'm not going to try to pronounce it, but it stands for Elemen2al Vision Works, which is his company separately from the New Regan Poets Cafe. And if you go to our link tree, that's where you can find everything else. And I also want to give a shout out to one of our partnering organizations, the Bowery Poetry Club. If you go to their YouTube channel at Bowery Poetry, they have podcasts there. That you can listen to at any time, and those are free as well. So those were our online offerings. Hope you enjoyed them separately from our in-person events. But if you're in New York City or visit New York City, please check us out. Come to New York City. This is where our next performer actually has come a few times. He is zooming in from the West Coast, but we had the pleasure of meeting him and his wife in person in New York City, and I hope we will, soon again. Joski, it's always a pleasure to see you either in person or zooming in from Washington. Over on the West Coast. Joski, I'm looking forward to see what great song that you have today. There's so many things happening in the political area. It's sometimes tough to even keep writing, poetry and songs on a timely matter. But I know, we've heard already incredible performances, and I'm looking forward what you brought. Joski, it's all yours. Welcome back.
Wonderful to see you, Ron. Coming through?
Yep, loud and clear.
Okay, so I'm gonna play a song that I wrote a while back. This is about the culture wars and efforts to rewrite history. But I want to play it tonight because, as we speak, King Donald and President Musk and their minions are dismantling the Department of Education. So this goes out to all the educators in the building as well. But I want to start with a short poem, if I may. This is new. It's called Wrecking Balls. Wrecking balls reduce monuments to rubble, to dust of Taliban. Wrecking balls have emptied halls of expertise and memory, smashed government into debris. Wrecking balls hung like an old man's scrotum, swung like a pendulum, rushing time like grandfather's clock, so much to destroy, they must hurry. Can't teach history, makes them uncomfortable. Can't teach science, makes them uncomfortable. Can't teach geography, from sea to shining sea. led by the lost, counting the cost, makes them uncomfortable. Can't teach climate, makes them uncomfortable. Can't teach about heat, makes them uncomfortable. Can't teach about the cold, frozen hearts of old. People were bought, people were sold, makes them uncomfortable. Switch off the lights, turn off the car, in the dark between the stars. Can't teach about slavery, that makes them really uncomfortable. They didn't do it, that was somebody else. Privilege of skin, doors that let them in. Jim Crow was the kin, they feel it deep within, makes them uncomfortable. Switch off the lights, turn off the car, in the dark between the stars. Can't mention you, makes them uncomfortable. Because you're you, makes them uncomfortable. Florida can't say gay, there's rainbows every day. Makes them uncomfortable. Uncomfortable, makes them uncomfortable.
As beautiful as your music is, Joski, your ass makes them uncomfortable. Trust and believe. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Joski C.
And don't you stop making them uncomfortable.
Hell no.
Keep singing, keep writing and singing and
Turn
performing.
it up on the ass, Joski, for real.
There's such a beautiful melody to that piece too. You know, it's like the more beautiful you get, the more scathing it becomes.
But even more though, the words to the lyrics to his pieces continues to raise up the consciousness and talk about what's going on. He doesn't write about bullshit. And I really appreciate that.
Love that.
Yeah, here.
Yeah, I love that. Raise the consciousness, right? And I do believe that a lot of our artists in this building do exactly that, right? They raise the consciousness very deliberately, right? There is no accidents that happen here, folks. Please, for the folks who are watching online who are not members of our community yet, please know this: there is nothing happening by accident here, right? The only thing that I want to yell at Joski about is, damn it, Joski, I'm still waiting on the album, sir. And listen, if I need to produce it, then just hit me, man. But I need the album. Listen, I actually need a compilation album. I need a Bill Elkins track. I need a Baba and Goma track. I need a Catman Bill track. I need a Joski C track. Like, for real. Like, y'all are just too incredible to not be recorded, to not be a part of the New Eurekan Poets Cafe history. It's musical history. Seriously. I'm working on that, folks. Seriously. As I normally like to say, like, you know, we get our week put in balance by Joski C, right? And Joski just says some real heavy shit. He just says it really light. He said, can't teach about slavery. That makes him really uncomfortable. I love that, Joski. I love how you fluctuate your voice. I've always said your voice is your instrument. Whoa, what you got there, Eye Inspiration? Oh, I'm not really sure what that is, sir, but we will come back to you. I want to know what that is that you're flashing on that screen. Listen, Joski. All the way out in the Pacific Northwest, you're incredible, sir. Shout out, Deneen. Listen, you're just a rabble rouser. You just happen to have a very soft and melodic voice, but you're a damn revolutionary, sir, and I appreciate all that you do. Seriously. Make sure before we move on, y'all all show your love to RMT. Seriously, that dude, he is so committed to what we do. He is so committed to our community. I could not do it without him. Love you, Ron, so much. I appreciate you, sir, for all that you do. Truly. All right, let's keep it going. Coming up next, is he still here? Yes, he is. All right, he was saying that there was a storm rolling through, and it makes sense. I mean, there is a storm god in the building. Plus, the internet doesn't necessarily want to always hear the Vincent Price of poetry, author of Mirror, Mirror, author of Scapulti. Telling you, I got to get that right. I'm going to make sure I get that right from now on. The one and only Ike Waltz is in the building. Also, Dr. Z Page mentioned it. Michael Sindler mentioned it. And I believe our resident Gilgamesh mentioned it also. The 13 compilation, which in case y'all didn't know, I will also be a part of. So that's going to be bananas. The one and only Ike Waltz is in the building. Let these folks know where they can find you. Ike, you are doing something amazing, sir, with 13. Please let these folks know where they can find you. Great to see you, sir. Please, take it away.
Elemental, it's Scalpiti. It's a subset of graffiti. Graffiti is two-dimensional. Scalpiti is three-dimensional thinking.
Hold on. Skullpiti is three-dimensional. He just connected that to graffiti. I will not forget that again, sir. Thank you for the correction. Please take it away.
So now, hang like an old man's scrotum, I heard. And who was Spartacus? Anyway, I am that slave of yesterday's time, a brutal gladiator facilitator who frees us all, he says. And just in case, my soul is Hollywood's fake firestorm. Roman or other, my heart a righteous torch. My body is burning in hell. My golden thoughts trumps the everywhere. But yes, I am not your slave, can't you tell? Yes, yesteryear ended in the loss of you. Hope long bypassed, replaced by the aggressive motion of the flame-throwing absurd. Mine is a monster on fire, burning, slow roasting, nightly posting, young body understatement. Old mind, nobody wants to hire, nobody, knowing all of the better, with nothing to excite, nothing to say. No, nothing, no more, I don't pray. Secretly, I stopped listening to my AFib, troubled heart. We forgot to be a myself, falling apart. That myself, that once upon a time, that myself, I never understood. My name was not only an unpopular song, but a racist's contaminated tragedy that defined who we became, who I am, who is Spartacus in decline. Hollywood, you see, is upsetting me. Yes, that only one which keeps clinging to me like the smell of stinking fish. I had sweet choices. Instead, in memory, I dish where the comforting movie houses wasted my time. I escaped to be the rebel, a voyeur. I watched myself in the mirror, and now I grew. How we made love on the white screen, masturbating Thor. I live tactile imaginary since this time, over and over again, cradled in secretive darkness. Listen, it's just fine. Absorbed in a moon Gauss surrounds, regurgitating popcorn, slurping frozen coke, crunching ice cubes, biting fingernails. I hear that wide open mouth where Botox sex can't tame that annoying sound around. La La Land had no plan for me. Nothing worked out like that. My future, always a permanent gamble, always an engineered surprise. Now that I fight that last power pill of my imaginary life. However sweet or bitter, I swallow my blooded pride. I am my only forever discombobulated blue-eyed child. I am my daily replay of history. Yes, only my eyes have survived. In a bowl, we see that slow running shit all, and shit all, it's but nothing. I said loudly, but nobody listens. I roar into your face and nobody listens. The road in my neighborhood has no beginning, no end. It takes only one turn and I walk over myself again, forever again. Come on, come on. Can't you imagine what I'm going to say? Oh, I fucked all, and me. Then I was never a company man. I never worked for anyone. I worked with you if I felt like it. I felt free in obscenity. And then the system sold me behind my back without even asking. I was handed over like a financial check. And here it fakes. And Spartacus's lullabies the past on this darkened Zoom squared eye. Cold and alone, and the time-keeping clock ticks. Tick-tock, tick-tock. In a blinding spotlight appears the imperfection of a naked man. Spartacus, the gladiator, makes his sacrifice. What bare bulging muscular desire pleased is a caged chocolate-munching audience. Rousing perfume can't wipe sweet sticky pain. Can't mop the echo of the imagined rain, but Spartacus can jump. And yes, Spartacus can jump, okay? Tour de force, danse, l'air. And excitement whistle in da capo unison. Excellent grown human material, imagination I hear everywhere. A freak show is the air. All looks legit, but nothing is even a bit. It's butterfly's life and dreams disintegrated into ash. Beware. Yes, it was all about crown jewels, as if you had been always there. Thank you.
I forgot to tell you that the storytellers were in the building, and this is exactly why I call this cat the Vincent Price of poetry. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Ike. Whoa!
Thank you, Ike.
Fantastic, Ike.
Beautiful, Ike.
Yeah, such an epic interior landscape. Mop the echo of the imagined rain, please.
You're ridiculous.
Wow. Talking about storytellers, I want a collaboration between Ike and Markensia. I mean that I just realized that now. You know, it's like that. Wow, you know, storytellers in the building.
Ron, you know what? all the way up into BX. You're a bona fide shit starter, sir. Just in case you didn't know. And thank you, because I will not forget that. Like graffiti is skull PT. 3-dimensional. Now I know you're a 3-dimensional writer, sir. I got you. I got you. What you do is so one of a kind. It's I can't remember the last time I heard a Spartacus show his ass up around these parts. My soul is Hollywood. I escaped to be the rebel. I live tactile, imaginary time. I am my daily repeated history. I roar into your face and nobody listens. Thankfully, you are a member of the greatest community in the world, so we always listen to what you do. I was handed over like a financial check. A freak show in the air? Like, I mean, this could easily be considered a freak show. Not that y'all are freaks. I mean, I may be the one, but you just add to it. Sir, you're amazing. I'm thankful that the storm passed and allowed us to hear your incredible work. Again, thank you for the correction with your book. I will not mince those words again. This incredible cat really, whether it comes to 13 or Mirror Mirror or the Bald Raven or what else I have over there? This cat's incredible. Really. Part of my bookshelf was filled with Ike Waltz. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Listen, I'm going to show this again. Do yourself a favor and search this on Google and see what happens. See what happens when you search this. Ike is kind of the dude. Just saying. Thank you, sir, for what you do and sharing it with us. Listen, the Teflon Donna is not in the building this evening, but we will always make space for her when she comes through. Therefore, we are going all the way, I believe, to Amsterdam, to another incredible educator. And it's been a while. It's been a while. Yes. And listen, this is why I'm yelling at this dude, because he is so uniquely him. You've never heard anyone like this cat, but he's about to come through and do what he does. Man, it's always great to see you, sir. The one and only Xanadu is in the building. Let these folks know where they can find you, sir. It's been too long. Please take it away.
Okay, yeah, thank you very much. I'm always very pleased to visit this place. I'm sorry that I couldn't visit more often, and I hope I will also visit your venue in New York ever, because I've never seen it yet. And I knew you have a new president now, and he's in the news all the time. But I'm determined not to say anything about it. So it is only about Cyprus today. Cyprus is one of the crown jewels of the Mediterranean, a place in between Russia and United States. And it's very nice visiting. If you're living here, you can go to Cyprus, to Malta, to all the Greek islands. And I have an introduction by an unmentioned poet, but I think it's a very nice poem. And maybe you also like it. I don't have to mention his name. It's called The Card. I glean the silver of existence and the occasion into a card's restricted distance and complication. One more the impotent reflection and sunny tender supply my errors, incorrection, and verbal splendor. Yeah, I guess it's very good what poetry is about. And my poems sometimes also good, but a lot of description today about the jet lag. So arriving in Cyprus, Merriam-Webster says a condition that is characterized by various psychological and physiological effects such as fatigue and irritability, occurs following long flights through several time zones and probably results from disruption, etc. But from informatics, we know it's like you may have to reset your mind, if not your brain, if you are a materialist, and you do, Some algorithms don't rhyme and rhythm anymore as they should until they do again as you should, back to factory settings default. As you haven't made mistakes enough yet, you're starting up and off again, once again, and you get used to a new user who experiences an old environment as new, for we are talking about Cyprus, whose her and history is older than ours. You want to drive and ride on the right side of the road when you shoot at the left side. Oh, Commonwealth, your alphabet at least so hustled up, tiered and clothed in different fonts. It's not a totally different writing system though, and you had to rely on transliteration, pinyin and wunat to make your way around to the easiest possible. You find people uttering simple sentences from all cultures and neighborhoods of the planet, which are never enough to explain any situation. Your principle of charity has to work over time, changing into your major algorithm for a while. You may call it a culture shock, but I'm not your receipt. Your habits, which are partly embodied, hamper to continue in a new mode, adapted, adjusted, applied to what was only recently your unknown. Your girlfriend is not only angry at you anymore, but she's mad with anything and on each one wants a time in the West now. So that's a little bit how a culture shock can feel, actually jet lag if you arrive in Cyprus, but then you may get used very quickly and you will remember all the art I'm going to tell about now from the textbooks and so on. The first one, the sanctuary of Ania Irini, warrior, war chariots, warrior god, centaur, minotaur, demon servants, snake representations, born in the Bronze Age, grown in the Iron Age. They resemble Sion's terracotta warriors and horses, though smaller in number and size and equal in matter of clay. So that's in North Cyprus. And then, of course, what you all know about Greece and Cyprus, Aphrodite rising from the sea, translucence is smoothness, showing it more youthful than practice of sublunar life, idealized onto a divine body and a boneless spine to her back. Head is turned upwards, like indeed raising from the sea, and hairs are wrapped like a turban, ending in double tail in the neck, reminding both Venus of Milo, as because of missing arms, and Anger's Turkish bath because of aesthetic realism. Rather idealized than natural, she's divine rather than human. It's as marble as life could be already in 100 BC, 70, 80. So it's remarkable what we could learn from the ancient statues just in the field of fashion and hairdressers, for instance. Next one is many ages later, 1955, Adamantios Diamantis, maybe the most famous icon writer, painter of the moment in Cyprus, but the subject is very sad. Agonies before and after, anxiety, worry, frustration, holding children and animals expressing soul of the people, expressionist and symbolic elements, surface, agent, background, measure, rhythm and harmony, bodily position, show hype, psychological distress, not just feeling down, but in fact laying down as to the floor, to the utmost left, like a pharaonic statue, blinded by fate and fact, collapsing as by an earthquake. Reclining, covering children in their lap, like to the utmost right side, again as hit by an earthquake. No one dares to stand up straight, but it is covered and humiliated by sorrow, worries, and anxieties to the nerves, called agonies. Realism collapsing on the weight of expressionism. And next, another quite famous painter from Cyprus, Lukia, Nicolaidou Vassilou. This is called Daughters of God. Humanized window of heaven. Not just one mother, but possibly two. Her skin as red as background, where she appears as a mirage from her bleaker companion, adding femininity. In a surplus of divine makeup, repeating emphasis of saints, painters, writers, deeply red mouth, black lines, eyes. Then the only queen that Cyprus has had, I'm understood, called Caterina Cornaro. Painting by Paul Veronese. Could be the most famous painter on the island right now. A lot of famous painters have visited Cyprus, and He is well, long-haired blonde in decorated type of armor and a brown gem facing the viewer just above brown and greeneries of heraldic sign and string of pearls around her neck. Queen herself, turning head away, offering on profile view of female modestly looking pensively down, reddish lips like Byzantine icons, small crown like accidentally dropped on top of her head. Well, that's it. I can read some more poems if you like, but then I may take too much time. It was all about Cyprus today. You know Cyprus, yeah, Cyprus, very close to Egypt, in the Mediterranean.
Listen, sir. Anytime you come through with a history lesson like that, we are here for it, sir. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Xanadu.
That was a great tour and a kind of a wonderful way to do it through these different paintings. That was just such a great way to do that.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you. Yes, it's a great island to visit, of course, and the climate is always very nice. Yes, so it's partly just because of the object that is wonderful.
Sir, in case I mean, you are incredible at what you do. But in case you didn't think that poetry worked for you, you could easily be a tour guide at any museum around the world because of the way that you describe the texture of this art, the way that you describe these paintings. It almost sounded like you painted them yourself, right? The detail, right? You even said you may call it a culture shock, right? But how you put yourself into the artwork, I think that's absolutely amazing. And then you took us on a history lesson with each poem, with each phase, with each piece of art, right? Grown in the Iron Age, right? She's divine rather than human. Remarkable what people learn. Yes, yes. When they have guides like you, it is remarkable what people learn, right? Because people are so focused on just that. And when you have passionate people that take you on these tours around the world with these artists, you come across like that. Expressionists, right? Blinded by faith. No one cares to stand up straight. Realism collapsing under the weight of expressionism. In his third piece, he said, a small crown like accidentally dropped on her head. Like, who comes up with that? Poets. Poets talking about artists, but artists are poets in a painting medium, right? Painters are only poets on a canvas. Again, shout out Whitney Salgado, because that's what she does. Her artwork is poetry. Trust. Thank you, Xanadu, for what you do, sir. Don't be a stranger, right? Because you, sir, are the ambassador of that part of the world for us. So without you, we would not have all of that expression. We would not have those trips. We would not have those lessons that you bring. So please don't be a stranger. Whenever you find a time to come through, please do. Thank you for what you do, sir. You're incredible. Thank you. All right. Coming up next. Yo. Let me tell y'all, I love when artists make sure that they have a space to come through and do what they do. And this gentleman has been rocking with us for a while. He's representing for the cafe. The one and only Catman Bill is in the building. Let these folks know where they can find you, Catman. Listen, I absolutely love when you come through because whether he's doing comedy, whether he has his instrument, whether he's showing his book, make sure you do, sir. You're incredible. Always great to see you, sir. Please take it away.
I don't have anything to say tonight. You want to pass me by? You know, I'm angry. I'm pissed off. I'm mad. I don't even like being a human anymore. I keep company with animals, and I prefer being around animal. I was born in the wrong species. What can I say? So I'm going to talk about some dirty shit because that's the only thing I can do. But I can also say that I can relate to Shauna because I went to Catholic school. And my mother was Italian American. My father came from Orthodoxy. I don't know why they sent me to a Catholic school, but the Sisters of Mercy thought I was the biblical prophecy of Jewish conversion until I opened my big mouth and they knew I was the emissary from hell. And they kicked me out by 7th grade for refusing to cut my hair. Anyway, so yeah, I thought you would like that. I don't mind much sitting on public toilet seats. I know it's dirty. So my ass will sit where other asses have been. Big shit, right? Well, one thing I won't do is flush the toilet handle with my fingers. It's the dirtiest thing in the world. I've compared the toilet handle to Donald Trump in my book. My foot flushes the toilet. Recently, I had to go to Harbor Freight to buy some strapping tape. And while my van was parked in the parking lot, birds flew all around and pissed and shit all over my van. I mean, I've never seen my van all covered with piss and shit on the windows, on the windshields, on the everywhere. And there were white birds and black birds shit. And I thought maybe I might have gotten a pass by the blackbirds because I'm kind of cool. No, they showed the white birds how to fuck up a car. And then I had to go to the car wash. And I hadn't been to a car wash in decades. Anyway, speaking of shitty stuff, what else should I talk about? Well, when guests come over for dinner, invariably somebody has to use the bathroom. So they go upstairs to the bathroom and they do their business. And after they wash their hands, there's a paper towel holder. And you think they would pull down a paper towel holder and wipe their hands and put it in the garbage? No, they have to walk over and I know why they don't want to do it, because they want to save the world. Well, you know what? There's no more environmental protection agency, so don't worry about destroying the world. Use my paper towels, because they walk over to my bath towel and they rub their clean hands on my bath towel, and they don't know where my bath towel has been. It's been rubbing my body for days and weeks. And there are some parts to my body that I rub more vigorously than others because it feels so good. And that's where they're cleaning their hands. I don't know. I don't get anything. I don't understand. In the 1990s, I never practiced DEI, diversity. Nope. I only dated black women. That didn't go over well. All right, that's it. I better leave because I'm going to say another one, but I'm going to leave that one alone. Thank you.
Yeah. I don't, man, listen, I'm sure your cats are going crazy laughing at your ass right now. Unmute yourself, give it up for Catman Bill.
Thank you, Catman Bill.
All right.
Welcome.
Let it out, brother.
I was born in the wrong species.
I feel that. I feel that one.
Yo, this cat reached out to me last night, right? And he was telling me about the birds and the birds shitting on his whip. And same thing. Like, I thought, the blackbirds might give me a pass, but they had to show the white birds how to really shit. Show what the real shit was about. And I told him, in my experience, some people believe that bird poop is good luck. Right? I see Bonnie like, yeah, some people believe that bird poop is good luck. In my opinion, they've never been pooped on by a bird. That's just me, right? That's the only reason they can think it's good luck, is because they've never been pooped on. thank you for your incredible comedy, Cat Man, because it's the honest type of comedy that is real life funny. Seriously. Thank you, sir. And then comparing Agent Orange to a toilet handle? I've never heard that, sir. But yeah, they might need to flush him with their feet also. Just saying. Thank you for what you do, sir. Truly. Make sure you put your book in the in the chat so people can get a copy. Thank you. Thank you for doing what you do. Born in the wrong species. Incredible. All right. We have 5 people left on the guaranteed list, including the encore of Bill Elkins. And we have a full good luck round. Listen, a couple of surprises on there too. Fantastic. Coming up next, it's one of my favorite cats. Our resident Marshall Mathers is in the building. This cat's style is so just real, right? You'll see what I'm saying in just a second. The one and only Zach Frater is in the building. Let these folks know where they can find you, man. It is always great to see you. Come on, man. Take it away.
Good to see you guys. It's been a while. Wow, following that was wild, dude. But all right. A lot of poems. I didn't shave for about a week. If a word could describe state of mind, drowning. Dude, it wasn't even drugs. I do a lot. It was ER. They called it delirium tremor. I saw a wizard outside. Wife wouldn't let me say hi. Realized it wasn't real. Boarded a plane, detox. 7 days trapped, out of van, more drugs. Get off old drugs. Alcohol. I grabbed roommate, jumped out of bed, scanned the room. Alien. I'm serious. Give me Ativan. Detox, hurt, pain. I'm still alive. Have me on about 10 pills. They told me to stop drinking. Like, bruh, I know that. Back home. No, I shave now. Don't want to go back. Call it hell. Sandstorm. Delayed my ride home. Back home. Remind me. 2 daughters. Look after. Don't take me away. Princess, buy you a crown.
You see, like he's the inventor of the mic drop. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Zach Frater.
Oh my God, Zach, we're glad you're back, but we need to hear more from you. More.
I could feel that though. That dance.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that really just cut it quick. It was like it was like an instant version of some of his longer journeys. I think that was very piercing and more than adequate. I'm glad to hear you back, Zach.
Yeah, same.
So I like to call that cat the our resident Marshall Mathers. That reminded me of a 1980s Tyson fight. It's scheduled for 12 rounds, but it's gonna end early. And that's exactly what that was. A beautiful knockout in the first round. Man. And I love how you did that. Ativan. Get off old drugs. Stop drinking. Like, bruh. I know that. 2 daughters. Princess. Buy your own crown. Like, as a father with 2 daughters, that is so heavyweight. Don't rely on someone to buy your own crown. Make sure you buy it yourself. That's just work, sir. Appreciate you. Glad to see that you made it back. Don't be a damn stranger because your bars hit hard, sir. Appreciate you. Coming up next, all the way from Jersey, this poet comes through and puts in that work. Prepare yourself for the one and only Kayla in the building. Listen, the whole backdrop with the queen in the backdrop, like I'm here for that. Come on. Let these folks know where they can find you. It's always great to see you, man. Please take it away.
My Instagram is in the chat. I go by K the Poet, like Megan Thee Stallion. And I wrote this poem for the showcase that I have in the next week actually. And it's called Skirt. I wear this skirt like armor, Wonder Woman. A woman wondering why you feel the need to commit sins over my skirt. The skirt was not hemmed for you to put your hand under and somehow save me. Don't wear it for your eyes to peek into my anatomy. I will not be your next feast. I wear this skirt because it's pretty. It defines femininity as it flows through the wind, side to side, up and down before it hits the ground like a dandelion. So soft and sweet makes my body look tea, giving my hips hugs and kisses. She's my number one sis. And she may get a little risque and lift up a bit, but she didn't give you the green light to come in. Didn't put the lights on that said, honey, I'm home. There was no 3 a.m. call. Why do you feel tempted to break in? As if I don't know my Second Amendment. The right to bear arms, shoot down anyone who invades my body. You had to see the bullet coming when you took a picture of me. Put your hand on my knee, called me sweetheart, said I should smile more, called me a dumb whore, tried to touch me, took my reproductive rights away, told me to stay in a woman's place, off for a skirt. Click. For every sin you committed, I had to empty the clip. Click. Hoping it was Russian roulette, but every bullet seemed to hit your chest. Click. I try to keep a poker face. Click. Now there's red stains. Click. I keep scrubbing them. Click. Peeling layers and layers of my skin to get the stains off me. Click. I didn't want to shoot, but I was tempted. You tempted me because you thought my skirt was a symphony of yes to come in. I remember my skirt being flowy. Now hard armor trying to stop the dissection of my prized possession. My daddy taught me shoot to kill. And my brain couldn't calibrate how my skirt kept causing blood to spill, and I was shook at first, hoping it'll be my last, but the second I step outside, I'm at war again, ready to defend, but this time it happened again, just with pants. Poem.
Like, come on.
Thank you.
Come on. Come on. Y'all heard that. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Caleb.
Oh my God, that was so
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yep.
Yep.
Great story. Great description. And how so many women feel. It was amazing. If you're in
Yeah.
Florida, you can definitely pull that trigger anytime. Yeah, that was great.
I will not be was so genius in taking something on the basis of the image that's created and how just a garment that you feel, makes you feel good and gives you the kind of identity you want to have. But to so many other people who've been trained otherwise, it turns you into a sign that says, come and touch me, come and, come and basically give me an unwanted touch, which is the definition of an assault. And that poem was just so genius in doing that in a very direct and visual way.
Thank you. And I wrote that because I don't like wearing skirts for that reason, and I just started wearing skirts again. And then I really had to think about it and unravel my reasoning on why not wearing skirts. So yeah.
Yeah, and isn't that's just so fucked up? You can't feel free to wear what you want to wear because so many people have been trained to take it as a sign that you're basically it's just basically open season on you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Right. I was just thinking that. Like, your skirt equates to an open door policy, right? Like, it's open season on your flesh. And that's just not okay, right? Shout out Pops, though, right? Shout out Pops. She said, my daddy taught me shoot to kill. That's what the hell I'm talking about. Shout out Pops, man. For real. For real. Your hands don't belong on me, boy. You said your skirt made you feel like armor, like Wonder Woman. I think all women need to hear that. No matter what you're wearing, it is armor. You are Wonder Women. All of you. All of you. You deserve to be protected. You deserve to have a ring, right? A protective ring around you that says, you can't touch me unless you are authorized, right? Did you get my authorization? Did you get the letter in the mail that said this flesh is okay to touch? Like, no. No. I will not be your next feast. As if I didn't know my Second Amendment. That shit just fire. As you stand back and fire. Like, I love it. And then Bonnie goes, like, in Florida, you can step back and fire. Like, I love it. The only thing that would have made that better for me, as I'm visualizing it, is if as the wind blew your skirt up, he could see the 9mm hanging off your thigh. Just saying. Come try that if you want to. you can walk over here, but you're limping back. Just saying. I didn't want to shoot, but I was tempted. Oh my gosh. I don't appreciate men that think that, or people, period, that think that because a woman or a person is showing a part of their skin that they feel good about, that gives them authority to do what they feel that they want to do. It does not, right? It doesn't matter how short your shorts are or how short your skirt is. It does not give anyone license to touch anyone that they don't want. That touch is not warranted. Listen, it's kind of like once upon a time when thieves stole something. They asked them which hand they stole it with, and then they took it. Right? They took that hand from them. Just saying. A woman's right is a woman's right. Just saying, like, a woman's right is a woman's right. Thank you, Kayla, for representing Jersey and doing what you do. Your feature is going to be fire. Make sure you put that information in the chat. If we can get to it, we will definitely. Appreciate you for that. All right. 3 artists left, and then we'll down. Coming up next, and this cat's been working, right? Earlier, when I asked him about what he had in the screen, he said he had the president of the Ghana chapter of Poet on the call. And that's just incredible, man, because you're bringing, as we do anyway, right? But you're bringing another level of international into our community. So thank you for that. This cat right here, member of People of Extraordinary Talent, is about to do what he does, y'all. Prepare yourself for the one and only inspiration in the building. Let these folks know where they can find you all the way out in Racine, Wisconsin. Come on, man. Take it away. Great to see you, homie.
Yeah. Kayla, thank you for that piece. Touched me. I got a 15-year-old daughter, gone through some stuff like that. One being her mom's ex-boyfriend, who is currently in prison right now because he was videotaping and taking pictures of her getting in and out of the bathtub at 12 years old. 15 years old now. Now there's a boy putting hands on her thigh. I just found out about. So it's crazy as a father, but this piece is my ode to women, my mom, and my goddess. I guess I'll put what they call a trigger on it. I think that's how you put a warning on a poem. And I'll just let it go. But you can find me under Craig Larson on Facebook, Inspiration 1899 on Instagram with a dot after the N, IN.SPIRATION 1899. Please add me as a friend on Facebook or follow me on Instagram. Follow me on Facebook too. A poem I was going to do tonight, I actually, it's very short, but it's on my Instagram page. again, back to this piece. Oh, and I got a paid gig out in Detroit now after visiting last week, May 10th for Mother's Day. Let me get to this poem. Kayla, you got me in my feels. I respect women. I fear and pray for these girls growing up in these hard times, though, that are just trying to survive, though. And they're just trying to survive, bro. Through the dependence of social media and technology and way too much misleading information. Man, I fear and I pray for these girls. They're just trying to make it with the tools that they're given, that our educational system isn't given. Why isn't it given? It's politics. That's a given. They don't care about change. All they care about is their change. It takes more than a period or a womb bearing a child to be a woman. I'm not saying it's any easier for our boys trying to be men, though the system don't care about boys or girls. They only care if they survive long enough to get a job and pay taxes. Hell, you can change the color of your skin, cut off your dick, become a cunt, and all they're gonna do is put an identification bubble for you to color in on your taxes. Because on them surgeries, oh, you paying taxes. They don't care about change. All they care about is their change. Girls are not women. Boys are not men. That's why it takes more than a village to raise a child. This world gone wild. Women are pushing our children into this wild world that we're living in. Years later, they're wondering if they should have aborted that child just to save them from the pain of this wild world we're living in. White, black, Hispanic, Japanese, Italian, Native, Chinese, or any other color or creed. They don't care about us. Women are considered queens because of their strength and the bullshit that queens had to endure from their king. So please, don't ever call me a king. I'm just a man with the soul of a god. Kings were disrespectful, lustful, cheaters, negligent leaders. They didn't care about change. All they cared about was their change, their generational wealth to pass down, hoping that they'd keep it the same. They call it tradition, then they call it disrespect if their kids didn't keep it the same. We'll always have to fight for change. And for change, we'll have to fight. That's why it takes more than the village to raise a child. That's why I respect my spoken word princesses and queens that speak loud upon the mic, proud into this mic, and walk the words in which they speak upon this mic. I respect the women who play instruments and vocalists, releasing and sharing their soul for change, not just change. I respect women that twist tongues that are native as well as the ones that aren't their own, with patience to teach others to speak in tongues that aren't their own. I respect women that are embraced in culture, that don't have their nose stuck in the air, theatrics, the arts, knowing it's a privilege just to be here. I respect and believe and have faith and know how to communicate and trust. I respect the single mothers who make sure that their kids are dressed better than them and encourage them to come home carrying like 9 books. Yeah, I respect the independent women. You know the song. She got her own house, her own car, go to school, work 2 jobs. Yeah, she a bad broad. Yeah, I respect those independent women who do it more for than just sex, drugs, and green. I respect my hood bitches that made it off the block and are doing more than just punching the clock. Not because they want to, because they have to. They keep the temptation of the fast life off their brain. I respect those that took the long and hard way, that went from being a child to a girl to being a bitch, to a chick, to a lady, to a woman handling her shit. I respect and I idolize the woman that I call mom, for chasing her dreams, for wearing the weight of a queen, for creating life experiences, not mistakes in her life. I respect and idolize the woman that I call mom, for raising my brother and I through hard times, for her strength, will, and determination to change male chauvinism and discrimination in the male-dominant trucking and logistics world in which she worked in for 50 years and retired from. I respect and I idolize the woman that I call mom for her 80-hour work weeks that took her away from us so we could learn our own way, the hard way. I respect and idolize the woman I call mom. Because after my mini me was born, I realized that I needed to apologize for the hard times that I delivered to her. And I also respect and love the woman that I call my own. She's not just a queen. She's a goddess to me. She's sexy, yes, that's true. That is. But she's also very beautiful and smart. And I respect and love the woman that I call mine because she keep it real and don't waste my time with lies or bullshit or games or fucking deals. I respect and love the woman that I call mine, but she expects the same. Plus, she's just as freaky as me, if not freakier than I. You know, I had to end this poem talking about her and I. So don't call me a king. My queen, my woman, my goddess, don't call me a king. I'm just a man with the soul of a god. I am my inspiration, and I'm a person of extraordinary talent. Poet!
I done told your ass about coming through with that shit, man. I done told you about all that, coming through with all that love for the queen shit, man. What are we supposed to do now? You just gonna give it up for our inspiration.
It's my older women. What can I do? There's definitely a woman in my life that I got to put it out there in the air where it's fair.
Listen, man, I absolutely love what you do. I really do.
I'm gonna work on cutting that back a little bit too. That's just my first time doing like a theme poem. I'm actually gonna break it down into the mom part for a Mother's Day presentation.
Nah, you're doing too much. You're doing too much, homie. Leave it exactly the way it is.
Yeah.
Let it rock the way it is. Let it breathe. Gilgamesh.
Huh?
Well, I would say, do it a few more times, see what you feel like, first look, first impression, you might have a different perspective. I go with what Elemental says, second guessing yourself is kind of a trap because you don't know where to end doing that. I just found it to be a really heavy, punchy, kind of list poem, it had that consonant device. I respect. That was the anchor through the whole piece. So that's how it resonated with me.
Yeah, I just worry about it on the performance side, live, at open mics. I mean, I thought about just keeping that just for like features, where I have 20 minutes to do stuff, and that's where
I get where you're coming from, where there's different, sections of it, where you're talking about the different women, the different females. And, that could I can see where that could be, broken down into 2 or 3 different poems that way. So
that's what I was kind of thinking.
Yeah, kind of like a suite.
Absolutely. Ooh, wait. He said like a suite. I don't know if you caught that, right? Like a suite, like multiple, right? Like the Google suite or Microsoft suite. Don't hit me with that. But you know what I mean? Like multiple poems in one, right? I love how you did that, right? Because you could do the queen, you could do the princess, you could do the empress, right? But that is one of those stretch out poems, right? Because of the emotion that you have in it. Shout out Kayla for putting you in your feels and giving you that extra, added inspiration. Like the cat's name isn't inspiration, inspiration. But I really do love that you're very honest in your love for the queens in your life, right? And that is not always just open to people when they love the queens in their lives. They're not always so open to share that love. And the way that you do that and how comfortable you are doing that, you probably make your daughter uncomfortable with it. She's like, damn it, Dad, stop saying that. Like, why do you got to say that? Like, yeah, that's my dad, but he always, you know what I'm saying? But continue to do just that, man. Really, you know, refine it, trim some of the fat, but it works, sir. Really. You make cats have to step up their love for their women when they got to say what they need to say. So I appreciate that. Shout out, poet. Shout out, people of extraordinary talents. That cat's incredible. And listen, good shit, man. For going all the way to Detroit, doing the turnaround, and getting the gig, man. That's how you do it. Appreciate that, man. For real. For real. All right. 2 folks left on the guarantee list, and we listen. Our good luck round this evening is gonna be fire. So hold on tight. Coming up next, we have heard this incredible artist all evening add his incredible critique and commentary. I appreciate this gentleman so very much. His insight is incredible. His artwork is inspiring. And he continues to come through with work that just inspires all of us. Our resident Gilgamesh, the one and only Jedi Master Paul Skiff, is in the building. Let these folks know where they can find you, a true Lower East Side in the building. Please take it away, sir.
Thanks. Yeah, this is turning out to be a very punchy edition. I am on IG, a Skiff Grant. Just going to do this, some excerpts from this much longer thing. I'm doing this to dissolve the scab of street noise out of your ears. I'm doing this because it is something that happens hardly at all. So you are going to just have to listen to what I am doing this to be the in plain sight of the body you did not choose to be. So when you struggle with its exposed, annoying inexactness, I can sneak by mostly unnoticed. I am doing this out of the indiscriminate, random, heedless generosity of my madness. I am doing this so you will not have to show me your real personality, then find something else to be afraid of. I am doing this to announce to you I have a gig later this month financed through a foreign entity from a program bankrolled by the CIA. If you are interested in why your sewer system is not functioning and what your tax dollar is really flowing into, I am doing this for another few lingering minutes, so this will not be short and brutal like the sound of a jail door. I am doing this because I figure if I try to be extraordinarily good, you might be shamed to give me affection. I am doing this because literature is one of the highest forms of white consciousness. So when I am doing this, I am being more white than other white people. I am doing this to honor many people who've been judged by a court of law to be legally insane, who have thanked me profusely for talking about a freedom they agree with, and I am hoping such a person will hear I am doing this for. I am doing this. The more I bamboozle your understanding, the more you let go and enjoy it. I am doing this to help me be able to just barely recall. My mouth is, if I remember right, supposed to be for something other than biting. I am doing this as my body is often treated like a ditch into which so much policy, procedure, and conditional privilege have been dumped that if I do not wave myself around, the heat of decay will smother my songs into pure blab. I'm doing this because life is a lucky wound in a game that inflicts it, but if I play by my rules, it will not matter if I triumph, am defeated, or heal. I will become an exit with no consequence. I am doing this. Even though it is hard knowing these explanations try to fit in that chair with you, in that place on your back, like you, a folded signal. I'm doing this for it makes me no different than a child who has been incarcerated in Tompkins Square with the newly brightly colored swing sets behind fences that are authoritarian excuse, like scarecrows to the squatters. But I am not so confused about playing the innocence of those children on the swing sets against the people who are the saved, against the innocence of the damned homeless people who are excluded on the outside of those fences, for I am what is reproduced out of the social waste. I am doing this by distributing my voice among you as a natural resource for which there is no equivalent alternative, but its absence, my voice's absence, will not be a real scarcity. So you can limit the amount of your acceptance I'm accumulating here. Just leave. But do not think that will stop my power development or prevent my flourishing. My throat is an engine. If you have not guessed by now, my throat is an engine that runs on refusal. I am doing this even though here is not the time or situation, the acceptance, life, or way of facing each other by which we can receive each other or the world. But this microphone, this plastic box, this illuminated screen, the one you are sitting on the other side of, these things, these rooms, this place, this virtual nowhere that we are in here, this moment, cannot refuse to be vessels for the word. I am doing this because I still know what a soul is, but I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to wait for it to come out of you on the street. I'm doing this because the police moved. They moved their patrols down from Avenue A. They pushed all the dealers to Avenue B to empty out all the people, get the property down, and have small capitalists buy it for the gentry. That's why I'm here doing this. Yeah, that's why I'm here doing this, here to mobilize you and service this target behind my fucking enemy's lines. I'm doing this. I am doing this. I am doing this here because after this place becomes a hotel for rich people's dogs, the only things coming out of this place will be noise and excrement. I'm doing this so you will have to use discouragement and fear as impulse to escape the material security of your phony ersatz aristocratic spiritual fulfillment. I'm not going to take you beyond your limitations as a doubtfully necessary life form trying to implicate itself in superiority, abolished by need, twisted into an object. I'm doing this to seal the pact between us, between you and me. I'm doing this to seal our pact between us, to seal the between of us given, not exchanged, to separate myself, to throw understanding and mistake at your feet, to disappear between us like aggression of love, returning to the goodness of nothing. Thanks.
This dude, he just does that. I don't know how he does it. Like, he just does it. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Paul.
That was really good.
Like, you're from another world. We used to say all the time. We say all the time, and Whitney can vouch for that. We used to say we are going into the skip verse, right? He just does amazing things. Squirting the whiskey on the microphone. Sir, you always come at your artistry from a level of benevolence. Like, you allow your poetry to take over your spirit. And as I like to say, you become the instrument. And then poetry then plays you, right? I don't know if you're writing poetry or poetry is writing you every day. You're just you're just an enigma, sir. I would like to call you the Riddler, but clearly, you're our resident Gilgamesh. You're a history lesson in the making. Dissolve the scab of street noise. Literature is one of the highest forms of white consciousness. I don't know where that came from. I don't know what planet or galaxy that came from. Like scarecrows to the squatters. I am what is reproduced by social waste. And then my personal favorite, my throat is an engine. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Crank that engine. Where are you going? How fast are you going? You're incredible. And you're so beautifully one of a kind, right? Again, the only cat that I know that is published in the original Aloud anthology from the New Eurekan Poets Cafe, not to mention, he is also a part of this symphony live by the New Eurekan. This cat is all kinds of incredible. Do yourself a favor and plug in with Paul Skiff. Thank you, sir, for staying committed and connected with us and continuing to build our community. You're one of the pillars that made this the greatest community in the world. Thank you. All right. We are going back to the West Coast because we are coming back to the encore, as I mentioned earlier, Simon, Garfunkel, and Elkins. Because we are going to make sure that this song resonates the way that it should. So coming back is our resident folk singer and writer, the one and only Bill Elkins, is back with his incredible song. Please, sir. Oh, let's go. Let these folks know what it is, sir. Please, take it away.
Okay, sound check first of all. Can you hear?
It's still pretty hot. Ron.
It's not plugged in. I'm going down electric.
Yeah, it's very loud. It's still like it was before.
Really?
You lowered the amplification on that, or?
I have no amplification on. It's turned off.
Oh, wow.
It's all acoustic. It's just with my microphone and my laptop.
And let's lower the microphone volume in your Zoom setting. Quickly go to audio settings and lower the microphone volume there.
Okay, let's see here. Audio.
And you got muted accidentally, but see if you can, we'll ask you to unmute, but see if you can lower the volume there.
Okay, it says same as professional, same as system. Audio settings. Okay, let's see what they got there. Okay, audio settings. What is
You see where it says input volume?
output volume?
Oh, input. Keep going down a little further down.
Yeah. Okay. How's it now? I turned it down a little.
Okay, a little bit better. Try a little more.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, now play a string on your guitar. And say something so we can hear both the guitar and you.
Baltic Sea eyes.
Yep. Okay, it's a little bit distorted, but much better than before, though. So now we can hear the lyrics better, though. So I would vote for proceeding the way it is right now.
Okay. All right. Let's go for it then. Okay. Okay. So the song is it's entitled Eva Pavinska, and wrote it several years ago. It's a song about a relationship. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Baltic Sea eyes, golden hair. She's my Venus from Krakow. Mystic dancer, my exotic tightrope walker. She strips me naked with her luminosity. Precious angel, my existential muse. She wakens me from my indifference. Yeah, she does. Oh, cosmic child, my bohemian lover. She vanquishes my demons with her body and her mind. Eva Pavinska, you rescued me. Your intrinsic beauty you let me see. I guess we're as close as two can be. Our love will be forevermore. La la la, la la la. Eva Pavinska, I need you. La la la, la la la. Eva Pavinska, I love you. Blue, white, red, double life of Verity. We talked about these films when we first met. Yeah, we did. I remember how we first looked at each other and somehow knew we'd be together. We walked along Berkeley Marina, looking out at San Francisco Bay. We stopped to hold each other as the fog rushed in overhead, and I whispered in Eva's ear that I loved her. Ella Pravinsky rescued me. Your intrinsic beauty you let me see. I guess we're as close as two can be. Our love will be forevermore. La la la, la la la. Ever Pravinska, I need you. La la la, la la la. Ever Pravinska, I love you. Ever Pravinska, you rescued me. Your intrinsic beauty you let me see. We're as close as two can be. Our love will be forevermore. La la la, la la la. La la la, la la la. La la la, la la la. Eva Pravinska, I love you. Thank you, everybody.
Sir, your strategic and beautiful use of the la la la, it just speaks to your mastery of your flow and your craft. It's absolutely amazing. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Bill Elkins.
Hey, I know you're in LA, but that really, the jangle of your guitar playing really had this San Francisco sound kind of going on.
I'm using I'm using 12-string guitar.
12-string guitar.
Yeah, it's 12-string.
Yes, 12-string.
Very jangly.
Very jangly.
Very jangly.
Very jangly.
Like Mr. Bojangles.
Like Mr. Bojangles.
Anyway.
That's just amazing. He said like Mr. Bojangles. And see, this is why I said I really, and listen, I'm willing to produce the album, honestly. But between his 12-string guitar and Baba and Goma's 3-string cigar box guitar and Joski C's guitar and Catman Bill's guitar, all we're missing is a keyboard player, and we can have a whole queen up in this. You know what I mean? Like, for real, y'all are amazing, right? I dabbled with the bass guitar for a while, and that's really all we're missing is a bass player. Anybody in here play bass or know anyone that plays bass? Because that's really all we're missing is a bass player. Because all of you are absolutely fucking phenomenal. Seriously. The way that you write songs about the spaces that you've been in, the story about you going to Ireland with your daughter, the story about the woman with the bell bottoms, you're just amazing, sir. Really, your songs are so very honest, so very real, and you sing them with so much heart. I can't thank you enough for doing what you do, sir. Thank you for rocking with us as long as you have and staying so committed to your craft. You're amazing. Thank you. All right, folks. Listen, that is the end of our guarantee list. And listen, our good luck round has expanded. Oh, come on with the beatbox. Listen, a la Rozelle well, come on, man. I can't think of his name. You got what Biz Markie. Listen. Listen, our good luck round expanded from 5 to 8. Yeah. The Biz. Look, everybody chiming in now. The Biz. All right. But listen, we are nearly at 11 o'clock Eastern time. So if you have shorter poems, cool. I'm going to be here, folks. So if we need to be here for the next half hour, I'm going to be here. All right. Because I love what we do. But we have some heavyweights. Coming. All right. Strap in tight. Because the night is just beginning. Coming up first in our good luck round. Oh, did I? Thank you, Markencia. Who did I double up on? I will check that.
which is like just fitting for her to start and almost end, right before Trey.
Oh, right. Because she was like, check it out. This is why, right? This incredible artist, whether she's singing in Spanish, whether she's on the path, she comes through and does some serious work. But she hit me and said, hey, I got to teach tomorrow. So you already know, folks, I'm going to shout out the educators, and I'm going to make sure that the educators get a chance to rock. So, coming up first in the good luck round, Mrs. Good Luck Round herself, the one and only Elizabeth Horan is in the building, y'all. Prepare yourself for what she's about to do. Let these folks know where they can find you. It's always great to see you. Please, take it away.
Thank you so much. And thank you for being understanding. I want to be here till 1 a.m, but I'm tired and I wanted to be able to read if I could. So thank you very much. As I told Paul Skiff, I would get on the Dickinson path a little bit, and I thought I would do that tonight. Their poems, Emily Dickinson, for those of you who don't know, is a female poet from Amherst, Massachusetts, which is like 2 hours south of me, and pioneer before her time, a feminist of all the feminists. I mean, she was doing things, and didn't give a shit about what men thought about it. Not widely recognized during her lifetime, but now is, completely the canon of what you read if you do an MFA or study poetry. So this is for her, and these are poems that I wrote, kind of, like to her and in her style the best I could. As a woman of the North, a solitary, isolated woman of the North, Okay. This one is called I Am a Simple Woman. I am a simple woman, my pasty gray dawn smile. I cannot leave my bedroom, I'm naked and I'm vile. I love my bedroom linens. They seduce me ever lightly. They do not use such fingers as the men who grip too tightly. In here, I am safety goddess of a night filled with golden ships, ruby red riches, slippery hips I pine for, would die for. A winking woman's eye does not judge my hag-filled harem, but holds it tender for the feminine. Never as never as provocateur, nor some bastard child of the masculine. And I'll do this one if you don't mind. It's called Barren, Not of Words. I sit upon my little clutch. It's 3, 5, 10 at the most. speckled little curds of me, within them a glow of life to be, a bulb, a flint, a match, a yolk, a shell of calcium encasing the heart. It's the best thing I've ever made. No sperm encroached, no fertilization, no coming, no creeping, nor orgasm required. An ova exposed, and how circular the birth. It has no male persuasion, you see, just something I made from within me. It is simply my art, you see. And I'll do one more if you don't mind. This one is called, it's kind of my favorite one of these. Because spiders often eat their mates after copulation. As they should. Because I did admit to stop. The smoke billowed. Its gray respires, hence dark heaven clapped once, twice. Its throat a quiver, agape to pass me. Cloud gulch appriettes its cornicing of lips. I dance. I feign King John's runny-made heiress. So tickled by these whiskers, his hoary swarth, let loose my bellows, burned fallow in the ground. A winter girl, it seems, would be the type he chooses to keep abreast with me. Odd, I felt nothing to take my leave. The pony trap, the sulky pier, tracked me gentle and decent man as rancor death drives through. I reach blind his horse and look north, so raw and risque, my undead blackened pedipalps. I thank you.
Listen, I was not prepared for that one. Right, I was prepared for the Plath path, but then you went Dickinson all up in them. Let's go. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Elizabeth. Horrid.
Just lush. That second poem, I'm telling you, Elizabeth, I've seldom heard a poem dripping in more estrogen than that second poem.
That's awesome.
Thank you, Paul.
Talk
And you
that
know,
estrogen shit.
I'm
I
a
love
fan
it.
of Plath, and you know that. So, like, when you get your confessionalist on, it's a beautiful thing to hear. Like, and I don't know if you hear that enough, but the singing, all right, cool, super dope. But when you go Plath, that shit's dope. That's right, a paper dope. So, yeah.
Thank you, darling. I appreciate that.
Yeah, and you're one of the people, just, Maze is setting me off here. You're one of the people who are, at least for appearance's sake, extremely comfortable with, self-examination. You are just very bold and brave with that. But it's wonderful. It's just wonderful to hear a poet sort of test their skills by showing this kind of homage to the people they, really get juiced by. And you really excel at doing that. Thanks for sending me off, Maze.
Yeah, you are very Adele rolling in the deep with that. For real. Like, and I appreciate that so much. With all the work that you do, whether you're singing, no matter what path you're on, and even your own books, okay? You always are very committed to your work. And I very much appreciate that. You go all in with your work. And I honestly believe that's the only way that we are going to get the most out of our artwork is if you commit completely. And that is always what I get from your work. So thank you. That's why I call this woman Mrs. Good Luck Round. She's always ready to get down in the good luck round. So I appreciate that so very much. And then what you said, I am naked and I am vile, a winking woman's eye. Do you know what a woman's wink can do to someone? Listen, look, the gentlemen in the building are like, yo, don't wink at me, damn it. Don't do that. Don't wink at me, damn it. Don't do that. Don't do it. Don't do it. Thank you. Thank you so much for rocking with us, and for being an educator and making sure you make time for your students. Truly, truly appreciate you. Have a great night. Coming up next, from one educator to another, whether this cat is in his car or he's sitting on his couch, this dude, listen, this dude comes with the hip hop, comes with the work. I'm telling you, prepare yourself, because this cat's dope. The one and only Wall Poet is in the building. Let these folks know where they can find you, man. It is always great to see you, man. Please take it away.
It's always great to be here. You can always find me on WallPoet82 on IG. All right. I have two pieces. Yeah. All right. Let's go. First one is older. It's called Memories. I remember fifth grade, age 10, what my teacher, Miss Faulkner, looked like. Her gray strands of hair, glasses too small for her face, cheeks drooping like coconuts on a palm tree. I remember baggy jeans swimming with oversized rayon shirts, friends in love with 90s hip hop like me. And I remember an elderly man who dressed in dated clothes and visited our classroom once a week, the way his white hair looked dirty, the sound his voice made when he read words that had double meanings, bitterness mixed with a desire to be taken seriously echoed when he spoke. Everyone dreaded his presence. Afterwards, yo, what's your grandfather doing here, man? Reverberated in the classroom like an engine of a junky car while kids howled like hyenas. I acted indifferent until he asked us to write. Then my words began to form shapes on a wrinkled piece of notebook paper while I proceeded to illuminate like algae in a bioluminescent bay. His visits didn't last for more than 2 months. On his last day, he grumbled how we were ungrateful, how he didn't have to come. Never thought he had much of an effect on me. I mean, I don't even remember his name, but I kind of wish I would have at least said thank you for introducing me to poetry. That's an old piece. All right, and then we have a newer one. All right, next one. In the fourth grade. In the fourth grade, I was as tall as a tree stump, and a kid the size of a sequoia was my personal bodyguard because my grandmother paid him weekly in Rocky Road ice cream. In the fourth grade, I moved to a new school where kids cared if your clothes were fresh to death and used to always get asked, "You didn't wear that shirt on Monday, right?" And in the fourth grade, my gray sneakers with the backwards Nike logo and air bubble that my mom got me from Payless had kids asking me, "What are those?" before kids were actually asking, "What are those?" In the fourth grade, I went from listening to Guns N' Roses and Def Leppard to Naughty by Nature and Black Sheep. In the fourth grade, Foursquare and dodgeball games were legendary, and I developed cat-like reflexes to avoid a red rubber ball smashing into my face in front of a crowd of kids who would talk about it for at least a week. And there were at least two different girls I had a crush on, one of whom which used to decorate her long braid with a purple beret and used to kick the back of my chair daily, then pretend she didn't do anything whenever I turned around. In the fourth grade, I had pizza on Fridays and I used to wash it down with chocolate milk that I drank from a tiny straw. And in the fourth grade, I mastered my multiplication tables and presented my book report dressed as the main character to the entire class, complete with an oversized suit, fake glasses, and a drawn-on mustache. In the fourth grade, I hadn't met poetry just yet, but had already discovered how reading your words aloud could create a spotlight over your head and pull your audience forward like magnets, forcing them to pay attention. In the fourth grade, my teacher told my parents, "Wally's very creative, but gets distracted way too easily." And in the fourth grade, I wasn't awful at school yet. I just knew it took me longer to get work done and used to often find my homework crumpled up like treasure maps at the bottom of my book bag. I also knew I'd be good at something one day, just didn't know what. And many years later, I somehow became a teacher and I somehow became an expert at finding the creativity in disorganization and the determination in defiance. Because now that I teach fourth graders, it's almost like I can see a reflection of myself. And I'm able to see fourth graders differently from everybody else. It's as if I have my own personal time machine because I'm able to see fourth graders as artists, actors, teachers, and maybe even poets. Thank you very much.
That cat said I see fourth graders as my own personal time machine. Y'all heard that shit, huh? Unmute yourself, give it up for Wall Poet.
Love it, man. I love
That
it.
was really sweet and a really wonderful journey.
Bro.
But I have to say, your mom's paid for your bodyguard with ice cream? What? I was
Bro,
left to
you
my own
talking about
devices.
all the hip hop stuff?
I had to
Like, yo, I'm
organize,
with you on that because I met poetry through haiku in the fifth. But yo, all that stuff you was talking about, like, yo, what are those? Before what were those?
Yeah.
Y'all was
You drew, your words really drew a picture and stuck us in the classroom right next to you. I
Thank you.
felt like I was there. Felt like I
Thank
was
you.
there.
Thank you.
I was there too.
Yeah,
I
for
was
real.
there too. Salute.
That was taking me back too, man. I was like, oh shit. And I started hearing some of the references. I'm here like making lunch for tomorrow and stuff. And I had to sit down and I was like, put my ear to it. I'm like, oh shit.
Right. I like if
Yo, they
more
want to check.
educators came at their students like that, they may be inclined to listen. Right? Even Whitney was like, being a teacher 100% changes your perspective. It does indeed. It does. Because you realize, even more so inside of a classroom, when you're seeing all these hypnotized minds and eyes looking at you, it's not about you. It's not about you at all. It's about what you can give them and how much you're feeding the future. And listen, you said you're a fourth grade teacher. Wow. Shout out my man Ghost Rider. He wants to be a fifth grade teacher. More power to y'all. I can't do it. Listen, I can't do it. They're still in the hugging phase at that time. And when you do what you do, sir, they're probably going home and talking about nothing but you. Singing the songs that you bring to them. Yo. Like, ELA is just what we do, sir. ELA is just what we do. Come on. Thank you for what you do. And you said you want to thank him for introducing you to poetry. That's exactly who you're going to be for your students. And the fact that you came to school dressed as the main character in your own story, there's nothing else you could be but an educator because you're committed to it. Thank you. Thank you for that. Really, the world needs more educators like that. Thank you for what you do. And you just happen to be pretty fucking dope at it. Appreciate you, sir. Yo, I love yelling at this poet because she stays busy, right? She stays working on things, like she does 24-hour prompts. Listen, appreciate you, East, for always tagging me in those. But this incredible artist does so many different things, right? Whether she's coming at it from a erotic space or a true just like poetic space or just a beat your ass down with the word space. This is a poet's coming at you. And listen, the cat who's gonna be coming after her, he works too. Shout out Godchild. This is the one and only Poetic Desire in the building. Let these folks know where they can find you, East. It's always great to see you. Please take
It's
it away.
great to see you guys too. Poetic Desire, Poetic with a K, Instagram and Facebook. You guys can hear me okay? Thumbs up. Making sure? Okay. All right. So first one is a very short one, a priceless gift. Passion is a priceless gift of intrinsic value, not measured in dollar signs, but in moments of stolen gasps of air, jumpstarting a passionate, beating heart. And then this one I just wrote during the open mic. trying to see what I could write to the prompt here. So it's dedicated to all the poets who inspire, entertain you, and wow you with their crown jewels and messages. A poet's crown jewels. A golden phrase sets the rule, shines upon a crown of poetic jewels. Them bars spit with hard-hitting grit, magic and power lies behind your sharpened wit. Versed in treasures of worded pleasures, a sultry voice declares truths in rhythmic purrs. Attentive ears bow to your expressive language, eager to pillage inspiration from your memorable message. Slaves to your enthroned wordplay valiance, we swarm to congregate in your presence. Chained to metaphors like similes turned literal, your figurative intellect turns us instinctually visceral. Trading straight jackets of conformed thoughts for security blanket of poeticized lessons taught, take your priceless ideas, paid in inked blood, scribe onto us valued importance of life experienced. Good night.
Yo, see, and you see how poets do that new shit, that in the room shit. Yeah. Unmute yourself, give it up for Poetic Desire.
That's babes.
Yeah, more.
Two up, two down.
Yeah. You're out in Virginia?
Yes.
My cousin's down there off Highway 220. Was it Virgil B. Goody? I think it's like the Blue Mountain District.
Okay, we're in the Hampton Roads area, so Chesapeake.
I'm looking to do a retreat down that way eventually. I sent you and your man a friend request.
Awesome. We'll take a look at it.
Enjoy the piece.
Listen, our inspiration. If you want to get down in VA, these two are definitely two of the cats that you want to get down with. You will hear Godchild in a minute, and you'll understand why. These two, like, I don't know if I want to call them a dynamic duo because they're incredible solo artists, but when you hear them together, it's like an atomic bomb. They're ridiculous. They are both ridiculous, for real. Appreciate you, East, for coming through and writing that new shit. For real, in the room shit, right? Moments of gasps of stolen breaths. Come on. Bars spit with hard-hitting grit. A sultry voice declares truth. And written in the room, right? Seriously, written in the room. Thank you for sharing that inspiration with all of these incredible artists that inspired you to write that. Appreciate you for falling through and doing what you do, East. For real. Don't be a stranger. I know. Listen, that's why I call that cat the captain of the street team. He stay networking. Trust. Listen, not only across the country, but internationally. Seriously, appreciate you, man. Maddie in the building. What up? You know I gotta shout you out, Maddie, of course. Coming up next, this fucking guy. The razor blade, that razor blade shave with Semper Fi. Shout out all the vets in the building. Boondock Saints in the building. I could go on and on and on. Shout out Swanye West. Shout out Double Dragon. This guy is just ridiculous. Let the church say, God damn, this dude is ridiculous, man. Last year I was voted most likely not to succeed with second chances. The one and only CP Mays in the building. Let these folks know where they can find you, man. It's always great to see you, folks. Come on, man. Take it away.
Appreciate it. First off, man, shout out to the host who's been keeping this thing going. Like, it's not an easy job being a host. I host Bottoms Up on the second and fourth Sundays of every month, sponsored by PGN, Poetry Global Network. Check it out. Like, London's in the house. Philippines in the house. Like, it's so many cats in the house. You should come through. It's pretty dope. This poem I'm about, I don't even know what to call this shit. This thing I'm about to do, I was the poet for a magazine called For Magazine, this artsy magazine. And they would give me complete free reign to write poems for their photo shoots. So this one was an avant-garde photo shoot, and I think it was Paris, London, Tokyo, and New York. And kind of this surrealism thing is kind of what I came up with. I hope y'all can ride with me. For Magazine, Volume 5, The People's Issue. Eardrum echoes, last dance kisses, and goosebump breath. Your solar scented skin slips and slides across my should have, would have beens like back-flipping fingers, all fickle flicked, and I dare you to find me or forget me again. I'm not here. But then again, you've never been all there, so sell me a smooth lie I could curl up with in the corners of your mouth. That's why curtain calls voicemail miracles in your name. I stacked and saved up all of my mistakes in past relationships just so I could afford to not make the same mistakes with your skin. If I gave up the fight or flight back to my sober self, sling shoot me down with a whisper and remind me to try again. Golden chairs, buckled bathwash. Muted moments scream for our deepest secrets to be heard by anyone but ourselves. Honesty left used silkworm condoms on the I don't understand nightstand with a note that read, "Thanks for the smooth ride. Sincerely yours, your rocky times." Watercolor brushsicles fell up from the ground. Can I lay by your side and wrap whispers around the symphony of your rib cage? I want to sleep with the lights on in your conscience. Could you see the I'm yours in my hellos? Senses all sheet music when I'm around you. Lennon, listen to me. I want nothing more than the grasp at the God-given ghost haunting your hip bones. But that can only happen if you learn to let go of your past and hold on to me. And by me, I mean now. And by now, I mean love. I don't want to wait for shallow waters to run deep. And I know your alarm clocks are made out of recycled human beings falling in and out of love, not making a sound. 'Tis the season of salt shakers and save your wounds for the thrift stores that were born wanting to live here. Somewhere, someday, soon it's gonna explode. Tourist tickle. I miss you. We both laughed like hip bones, like hallelujah, like hippie hypocrisy as we contemplated the silliness of how the word mistletoe sounds like a deadly walk. We pressed the red buttons, answered our cell phones, and spoke smoke signals in the carbon silk of the night. Let's let the sensitive skin behind our knees determine who pays for dinner tonight. Table taught, I want to love to go Dutch on the charge card dream and sign the receipt. Whoever in the hell you want me to be, unwrap my teeth and allow me to be any light switch in your home. I promise you hugs until fears go down easy. Drive ashtrays through wine bottles until my baby sounds like a good enough rest stop to sleep in. You're a water lily dew aircraft, bubble bath across airbags, always betting on right now. You're a stay with me until you're all I need. You're a let's not parking lot. You're a let's Tokyo drift. Donuts around halos, fortunes, an overpriced fishbowl prescription with the sunflower stigmatism. Instead, can we just focus on each other? Goddamn, I love your natural language tongue. When the distance goes hitchhiker sundown, thumb heartbeats across country, cheekbones, our lives, y'all, went half on the gas. Nuyo, the epic Don, drove seatbelt across backstroking face, drove seatbelt across the fine, any other good reason to doubt this fucking moment. Living sounds like a pretty good place for us to hang our always scared on. It ain't perfect puzzle pieces of skin, just sexual cake batter spoons, hiring any part-time tongue to mop up our floors. Yeah.
So I can call this cat hashtag ridiculousness all day, but that wouldn't even be enough. Unmute yourself. Give it up for CP.
Man, I love it, brother.
There you go, man.
I love
Boom
it.
goes the dynamite.
Semper Fi.
Semper Fi all day.
Semper Fi, do die.
All day.
And I love your energy at all times, man. For real. Like, you know, recently I've been getting told, you know, that I need to try different flows and, you know, not be screaming all the time and, you know, all this and that, use conversational delivery, take advantage of my bass tones and blah, blah, blah. But man, watching you on this Zoom, on this open mic, is like watching the mirror, you know, just emotionally. I know how you feeling. Like, dude, you're either gonna go and crash the fuck out or you're gonna be up for hours, you know, because of the fucking energy and the release that's coming out from all this shit you're talking about, man. I mean, there's so many bars in there. It's ridiculous, dude. I love you and the work you put in and that you just put out, dude, for real. Semper Fi, Bulldog, for real.
Yes, sir. I'll call you sometime soon. Next week. Let's do it.
Hell yeah.
Get on your radio show soon. He got a radio show. Get on that radio show.
The
soon.
radio. Well, it's coming back. I put it on hiatus for a little bit, but it is coming back. I'm redoing some things, but it's coming back. That's why I'm out here traveling and networking and hitting up more open mics and stuff. Take advantage of all the connections and stuff that's been going on. This is about you though, brother. We'll talk on the phone.
and I just want to say this before anybody says anything else. Like a sincere, respectful fuck all that advice you're getting. Sometimes some poems are too soon for other people. Shout outs to Buddy Wakefield who said that. Like styles, like my style's been shitted on for years, and then one day it just, you know, like as quick as I hate you, they'll love you. So like, just be you, brother. Just be you, honest at all times. Like, yeah.
I take the challenges where they come. You know what I'm saying? I respect the visions and stuff that people, you know, project and, you know, what have you. So I try to combine them in and what have you. But man, like I said, this is about you, and man, I love it when you put that energy out, man. It's just I know if it makes me feel good, it's making you feel good, and it's making a whole bunch of other people fucking stand up and salute, you know, everything else in their lives. So
Appreciate you, folks. Appreciate you.
Hey, Maze, if you got any leftover sexual cake batter spoons, my tongue is dry.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Oh,
awesome. That's awesome.
Dude, the beginning was like every single word was a S, started with an S. It was such a good start because you were like slithering through this poem, and like there's even a line in there that sounded like a snake with, what did you say? Damn, I wish it's not. I can't find it, but that was a great poem. I don't think I've heard it, and I like the buildup of all the S's because then you start varying it. But for the first like few stanzas, it's like, oh, okay.
Word. Thank you. Yeah, it was a creative style. I don't know what to call it, prose or whatever, but thank you.
You're deadly as snake venom spit. Then that's a Maze line. Rap symphonies around your rib cage. Your alarm clocks are made out of recycled human beings. Allow me to be any light switch in your house. Let's Tokyo drift around halos. So, and I know, like I'm the son of a Marine, right? So Semper Fi is in my blood. But you do know when you cross over, there will be a war. Because you're too heaven for hell and you're too hell for heaven. You gotta know that though. But you know that though. You know that though. You're ridiculous. I love your natural language tongues. I can rival a rival on a rival. Like this dude, there's so many quotables that this dude does. But I love your absolute commitment to what poetry is and does with you, for you, and to you. You allow yourself to be poetry, folk. And there are very few people in the world that I see that allow themselves to completely commit to be poetry. Some folks, it just, you know what I mean? You can see how they're trying to shoehorn themselves into a square peg when they are a round hole. But you just do it so naturally, aka Stephen Hawking with a pen, idiot savant with tattooed skin. Listen, I'm only quoting Maze. You're ridiculous, sir. But you know what it is. Boondock Saints in the building. Appreciate you, folk, for breaking people's brains. And this is why I did this just like this. Because this next cat, I know he doesn't have a problem coming after Maze. Right? Because, listen, his name alone puts you in the air of beings that do this shit for real. Coming up next from VA, listen, Wu Tang, Wu. Listen, he's about to put in that work, right? Coming up next, the one and only Godchild, the Omen, is in the building. Come on, man. Let these folks know where they can find you. This cat is no fucking slouch. Believe it. Come on, man. Take it away. Great to see you, brother.
You're unmuted.
Somebody said it, Wolverine. Exactly. I wore this for, for Halloween. Wolverine. That's who I am. Nah, what's up, y'all? Yeah, DC the O. You can see me on Instagram, Godchild 360. I got like 4 or 5 spoken word albums. You can get them from me. I got you. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do a joint and then shoot them out. But I'm glad to be here with all of y'all. Peace and blessings. And my G said it first. CP Mays, he was like, yo, give it up for the host. I was gonna do that because I host joints. You know what I'm saying? You took my line, bro. I'm mad, but I'm happy. So again, give it up for your host. All right, so true story. Both of us are naked, but only one of us is exposed. Present, but distant, incoherent, innermost utterings provoked by pills and alcohol. See, I'm inside her, but I am nowhere near where she really is. With kids, work, bad decisions in men, self-medicating, self-prescribed, so her booty call to me was something like a call for help. She is offering herself in return for attention, a temporary fix, but in the moment it is so permanent. See, I'm looking for another condom when she needs a tourniquet. Her flaws require gauze in the form of a man's arms. See, I heard fuck me when she really said love me. Not that I wasn't paying attention, just when you're at attention, it's hard to listen attentively, especially when she says one thing, but it's not what she really means. She is telling me she wants me, but that's not what she really means. I didn't know I was her last resort she would have to resort to. See, she's heard I'm horny. I'm about to come. She is on the brink of tears. Substituting quarters for comfort, just for someone to be here, then waking up forgetting she even invited me there. Like I just suddenly appeared. Sobs in my arms, convulses in my palms, Kama Sutra or Psalms. She didn't need God, child. She just needed God. But a child is what she settles for, a simple metaphor, but so complicated. And sex will only complicate it, and I feel obligated to a woman I'm not even involved with. Shit! Now we are both exposed past bones. She cried herself to sleep next to my heartbeat. See, I went from just being aroused to damn near being espoused. Misery loves company. She just wanted someone around until she passed out with no memory, and the only evidence of this happening is her call history. See, for most women, being vulnerable is a liability. And you can't just call a man at 3 o'clock in the morning just to come over and cuddle with me. And the quickest way to get that man to help is to offer yourself physically, but you ask mentally if he asks how she really felt. It'd be on some shit like, if I tell you, I had to kill you. Or something like this. After this tryst, this didn't happen and you don't exist. I won't even acknowledge your ass if I see you in public. See, I heard fuck me when she really said love me. I couldn't understand clearly because only one of my heads have ears clearly. I have to learn to listen with my eyes because an erection can cause bad. True
Oh,
story. True story.
this is why I put this cat right after Maze, man, because I knew he wouldn't have a problem with it. Oh, mute yourself, give it up for God, child.
Liking that.
who up to now? What
I'm
up?
hearing you. I enjoyed it.
Wow, homie.
Yeah, I'm in her, but I'm nowhere near where she really is. I think you spoke for just about every guy, you know?
She said, he said, she said, like, she said, fuck me, but I heard love me. Waking up forgetting she even invited me here. Is it Kama Sutra or God? Cry herself to sleep next to my heartbeat. You gotta stop that shit, homie. The only evidence of this happening is her call history. And then the piece de resistance. Only one of my heads have ears. You're ridiculous, homie. You're ridiculous. Shout out the Snap It to a Slam Jam. That cat said Wolverine. Yeah. And the mask, the Woo mask is hot as hell. Yo, as I said prior, between the East and the Omen, y'all need to come through more often. Because as a dynamic duo, y'all are like bam, pow, piff, like, you know what I mean? Like, wow. You're pretty incredible, bruh. Thank you. Thank you for hanging out with us this evening and staying around long enough to rock with us. Truly, truly appreciate you, bruh. For real. So, listen, we are like 15 minutes from 4 hours. But I'm here. I'm with this. I do this, folks. I love this, and I do this. So we have 2 more artists to come through. Oh, trust me, Mr. Off the Top Rope, we're gonna get to you because you are our closer. But before that, there is a poet in this building, and she is so ridiculously incredible. I like to call her fucking phenomenal. And you're about to find out why. She is so much in the vein. Shout out CG. Shout out Lotus. I like that shit. I like that shit, Godchild. Her name is East, but my last name is West. Let's go. Listen, this artist, I don't know if you've ever heard anything like her, but she is so committed to her artistry that she may end up breaking one of the hemispheres in your brain. So please prepare yourself because Maddie is in the building.
I was
Let
like,
these
did you
folks
mean
know.
to unmute me? Are you talking about me?
Of course I'm talking about you. What do you mean? Of course I'm talking about you. You just have a tendency to break hemispheres in people's brains. Of course I'm talking about you. Let these folks know where they can find you, Maddie. Like, it is ridiculously awesome to see you. Please
It's so
take it
good
away.
to see you. I'll add my Instagram handle and all right, cool. Thanks, dude. Got a quick one. This is about my dark side. And it's a whatever. I'm gonna say nothing else about it. I become unmirror, irrecognizable, enemy, estranged, and then distance. I have traveled so far out of this body in search of water, of light, by desperation and unwittingly. I led myself deeper into the cave, colder, through tunnels and turbulence so twisted till eventually sideways and gasping. Till eventually stuck till chest first crushed between rocks in some fancied exit, and it was there I waited to die, to go out like light, a flame snuffed, to waste away, to yelp and howl and well up waterful and wishing, but secretly wishing. So no one could know I still had this hand in the hope, sipping lightning through a pinhole, drinking water through this pen, and it was there, in surrender. I heard a bird call. I found a feather. Let me introduce you to my altar. Today, Teren, a moth of my own, my livid protector, our cave dweller, my harshest survivor my mirror has ever reflected. She can summon spitfire from stomach acid, can light the path to exit like a hurricane into Texas, wide open and rumbling, breathing fierce and famine, breathing hushed and has been, breaking window with breath and door down in tandem, can quake the walls, shake the mansion, knock down the photos and leave no scraps of food in the pantry. My nunchuck, my dancer, my fuck fascism slander, my poetry machine, my big sister who answered. I have a family because of you. I have both my hands back, my head back, my chin up, laughing at the cancer. Poem.
Really? Really? You just came through with a short round on them? Got you. Got you. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Maddie, a.k.a. Baby.
Get her, Elemental. Get her.
Thanks, guys. Thanks.
Yo.
Always refreshing when you get here. Just wish you could come more often.
I'm gonna.
No pressure. No pressure.
No, I know. But,
oh no!
I'm
All the
First time hearing, so
all the pressure. All the pressure.
I'm starting to feel better, so I think I'll be here more often. Thanks.
You're like a 115-pound sucker punch no one saw coming. Like you're crazy with it. You're crazy with it. Yeah.
Right. She's like a gallon of expensive liquor in a 750 milliliter bottle. She's 100 proof that you can guarantee goddamn tea is gonna be fire. If you don't know Maddie, do yourself a favor. Because she is sipping lightning through a pinhole. Let me introduce you to my altar. And for those of you who know Maddie, I'm not gonna get into detail. But whichever, you're just all of you, Maddie, bananas. My fuck fascism slander. Like, stop it. Like, yeah, we will get up. We will get up soon. I know that your manuscript, your wool manuscript is burning and yearning to get some work. And we will make sure that we make time for your work, Maddie. We'll hear from you soon. Truly. Yo, all right, folks. Whew. This is one of the longest that we've been through, but yo, coming up next is our closer for the evening. Shout out Garland Thompson too, man. Shout out Angel Renee for hanging out with us. Whitney Salgado still hanging out with us. Xanadu still hanging out with us. Bonnie Soloway still in the building. Poet still in the building. Brooklyn in the house. Markenzie is still here. Thank all of you so much for what you do. Wall Poet, educators in the building. East and West is still here.
Okay, is it just me or is Elemental's video frozen? It's frozen. Okay, then you know what? Allow me to introduce our closer for the night, Ray. Let me unmute you. Go ahead, and I know your performance gonna.
You hear me?
Yep, now we can. You're back.
Got you. Okay. Look. See, it says my internet is unstable because we are getting close to the 4-hour mark. All right. Listen, let me make this quick. Coming up next, Mr. Slam Jam himself, Mr. coming off the top rope, the one and only Dre Reyes is in the building to close us out this evening. Listen, man, it is always great to see you. Let these folks know where they can find you. Come on, man. Take it away.
Well, hello everybody. Great to be here as always. You can find me on Instagram at DreRay90 or at the One Slam Jam. Speaking of Slam Jam, I do host that thing every Saturday. It's a slam workshop and open mic. I know that some of y'all been a part of it in one shape or another. Shout outs to Walker, to Elemental, to CP Mays, who have been and also Paul Skiff, who have been special guest coaches in the past. Also Garland's. Geez, we got a nice crowd here. Anyway, great to be here. Anyway, that said, I'm gonna get on with the poetry. So I don't know. I was looking at some poetry that I haven't read in a while, and this one kind of caught my eye. So here's I Don't Belong in New Hampshire. I don't belong to a state that has always treated me differently from birth to today. I don't belong to live in a state that has placed me in a special reading group in elementary school because I lived in a home with Spanish-speaking parents. I don't belong to a state that allows under-the-table corruption to ruin my chance of becoming student council president. I don't belong to a state that denied my deceased best friend his graduation diploma despite having paperwork that proved his intent to graduate. I don't belong to a state that allows their employer to write me up for something I didn't say, but more so for the way I looked. I looked victim of not having the complexion for the protection. I don't belong to a state that is the only state in New England that hasn't legalized cannabis. I don't belong to a state who gave all their electoral votes to Hillary Clinton when Bernie Sanders soundly defeated her in 2016, yet still demand the first in the nation presidential primary election. I don't belong to a state that allowed Bob Baines and others to rid the state of higher educational art schools and institutions. I don't belong to a state that doesn't care about fairness, art, mental health, and homelessness. I don't belong to a state that allows police to send 2 K9 units and attempt to sniff out drugs several times, only to find absolutely nothing in a Latino man's car outside my window. I don't belong to a state that doesn't give a fuck about me and my well-being. I don't belong to a state where I am guilty without trial. I don't belong to a state that has never felt like home. Home. And yeah, that's that. Fuck it. Thank you.
2 tears in a bucket, baby. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Dre Reyes.
You've been beasting, bro.
Oh, you got the woo. You got the woo on.
Coming off the top rope.
Right. I knew he was gonna pop up with that mask on.
Wolverine is in the building.
Woo, brother.
Wolverine.
That's amazing.
Wolverine. Hey, Easter did this. Easter did this. Easter did this.
That is righteous.
Hey, protect your neck, bub.
Hey, come on, man. We bomb atomically in this piece.
I just want to say real quick. At my doorstep, my doormat, it's a Wu-Tang thing. It says, "Watch your step, kid."
That's just hot, homie.
Watch your step, kid.
There you go.
That's just amazing.
We got kids. There you go.
Listen.
Yeah, rest.
Oh, damn it. Hold on. We missed the Jedi Master. Hold on. Please, Jedi Master. He needs to hear from you, please.
I didn't have much to say. I was going to say, rest assured, you do not belong to that state. You are your own state, Dre.
Oh, don't tell him that. Don't tell him that, because then he'll come with the United States of Slam Jam or something, like the United States of Woo. Like, I don't know. No, that's a beautiful thing though, right? When you allow a poet to be his own state. I say don't tell him that, because when poets do acknowledge that and they believe that, then the government goes to shut it down. That's the only reason I said that, right? Because they are looking to censor us in every way possible. You know what I mean? Listen, yo, we have nearly reached 4 hours, folks. And y'all have kept the energy the entire time. I can't thank Bonnie Soloway enough. I can't thank Markencia enough. I can't thank Paul Skiff enough. Wall Poet. Whitney Salgado. I know y'all don't know, and y'all have heard me say her name quite a few times, but y'all don't know how significant it is for Whitney Salgado to be here. Whitney has been rocking with us. Whitney very rarely shares her poetry, but she is an incredible artist and designer, right? Do yourself a favor and look up Whitney Salgado. Please do yourself a favor and look up Whitney Salgado. Thank you, Angel Renee, our resident. Gosh, I almost had it. What did I call him last time? Our resident enterprise member. Gosh, I can't remember. Listen, y'all are all amazing. From Kayla to Maddie to Wall Poet, East and West, and the Woo, to the Razor Blade. Shout out all the vets in the building. To our resident Marshall Mathers, to our BX resident in RMT. I really can't thank you enough. I really can't tell you that I love you enough. I really can't tell you how much you mean to me and how much you mean to this space. Each and every week that you come here, you only charge me. You only continue to grow our community. Really, from Jersey to Wisconsin, right? From Brooklyn to Connecticut, right? Like, from Cali to the Lower East Side of New York. Y'all are amazing, right? And listen, I know it's been 4 hours, right? But I'm going to make sure that, and I'm going to let Ron do his thing, right? But I'm going to make sure that I hold it down for the cipher for a few minutes. So please hang on so you can converse with each other. Please plug in with all things New Eurekan Poets Cafe. There are a plethora of things going on. Get yourself some merch, represent in your part of the world. We're going to end the night like this. Until we meet again. May this energy we conjured this evening supercharge the rest of your week. Take this power, inspire others, energize creativity as we all hope to do through the spirit of Miguel Agarin. Your voice is appreciated, necessary, and always valuable in this space. Thank you for sharing it with us. Never forget, cowards get buried here. We reclaim our strength through our fearlessness. On behalf of the greatest community in the world, it has truly been a pleasure spending Thursday night with y'all. Until next week, peace.